It's time for kickoff. We now send you down to the field for the ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week.
Week 7 of the high school football season is officially upon us, and we welcome you live here in Kettering as we kick off Week 7 with the Miamisburg Vikings on the road as they kick things off here against the Fairmont Firebirds. Justin Kinner, Josh Copeland with you here on this Friday night. Josh, welcome in. Sitting in for Keith Byers, of course. Always a fun night.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me back. I love it. It's Week 7. Great. Nothing better than high school football on a Friday night.
Apologize to our producer, Brandon, back in the studio. My phone is not working. I'm actually glad that he's there running things. I really did not know what to expect as we got things off and rolling here today. But that kickoff for the Firebirds taken to about the 44-yard line, and that's where we'll see the Firebird offense for the first time coming out here tonight. Now, funny enough, you've called a few Fairmont Firebird games here for us this season. You saw them, of course, beat Alter in Week 1 and Trotwood in Week 2. And here you are all the way in Week 7 watching the same Fairmont Firebird team who's coming off a huge win over Springfield last week.
Yeah, that win is big for the program, and that's big for confidence building on. And I love what they're doing and what they're building here as Drew Baker comes. And he's a workhorse. So whenever you have a guy like that you can just give the ball to and just kind of like ride him to the end of the game, that's huge.
Yeah, you talk about Drew Baker, of course, coming into this game tonight with 699 yards, 6 touchdowns on the season. They obviously heavily rely on him as well as the run game as a whole. I mean, Dave Miller's been here for quite a few years, and this is their identity. It's not smoke and mirrors. You know exactly what you're going to get. And sometimes you think that's easier to prepare for, but it's sometimes demoralizing when you know exactly what's coming and you still can't find a way to stop it.
Yeah, they do a great job with the O-line and getting yards. And as a defense, it's demoralizing and it's frustrating when they're getting 3 and 4 yards a carry and nothing you can do about it.
Justin Kinner, Josh Copeland with you here on the call tonight, Week 7. It's our ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week. It's going to be third down coming up here for the Fairmont Firebirds. So a couple short runs. Miamisburg, we had their game a couple weeks ago against the Wayne Warriors. They did not look good at all. They were getting pushed around on the defensive side of the ball. They couldn't get anything going on the offensive side. Then they turn around, just like Fairmont had a big win against Springfield. They had just as big a win against Northmont last week. 2 teams with a lot of momentum, feeling good about themselves. This is going to be a good one here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And as you know, high school football in general, anybody can. It's any given Friday, really. So, if you come out ready to play, you can beat anybody at any point.
So that's going to be a penalty on the 3rd and 5 from the 49 with 10:25 to go here in the first quarter. So Fairmont, 3rd and 5 is now going to be a 3rd and long as they get pushed back a bit. So now again, not really 3rd and long, but 3rd and longer than what they had to work with. And 3rd and 9 does seem like 3rd and long when you know you're very limited in the pass game. So we'll see what they're able to draw up here.
Yeah, you kind of don't want to get yourself in these situations when you're a run-heavy offense and 3rd and long. So we'll see what they draw up and see what happens.
Brock Baker going to go out with the option. He's able to avoid a couple tackles. He gets to the 40, still on his feet, and he's tripped up about the 36-yard line. So, and again, that's one of those demoralizing type of things as well. It's 3rd and 9. You know they're not going to pass. They come at you with the option. He was able to elude a tackle and cut inside and get to about the 36, 37-yard line. Unbelievable play right there by another Baker, this time the quarterback, of course.
Yeah, that's very frustrating as a defense. You get them down to 3rd and long, and you know what they're going to do. You know they're going to run the ball, and they come out, do a great option. He made a great read, kept it, and tucked it up for 10 yards. Yeah,
Brock Baker, the quarterback who lines up under center, is going to send a man in motion. Now pops back out, 1st and 10 from the 37, 9:28 to go. Scoreless first quarter here in the early going. Opening drive for the Firebirds. Sends a man in motion, fakes the handoff. This time he's going to tuck it, call his own number again, and this time it's Brock Baker once again. Brock Baker has only had 3 pass attempts on the season. In fact, I think we watched all 3 of those, I should say, from earlier in the year. But Drew Baker leads the team with 699 rushing yards, and it's Brock Baker who's second with 157 and already adding about 20 to his total tonight. 1st and 10 from the 26 of Miamisburg for the Firebirds now, 9:05 to go in quarter number 1.
Yeah, definitely. They can keep the quarterback sneak going on, or not keep going on the outside, because as a defense, you know they're going to run the ball inside. So you're putting everybody to the inside. You're kind of focused in on the front 7 and kind of get push penetration. So if you can keep the ball go outside, you can make a lot of yards.
The number 1 rushing team in the GWAC with over 1,400 yards through 7 weeks, and on that 2nd and 10 now, it's tripped up. 8:39 to go.
Yeah, as Miamisburg, defense, you kind of want to make a stand now. They drove down the field a little bit. They had some good plays. Now you kind of want to hit them in the mouth. And you want to make a stand that no, you're not going to push us around all game.
Again, the Fairmont Firebirds come into tonight 4-2, 1-2 in conference play. Their only win coming against Springfield last week.
That's a huge win for the program.
Miamisburg 1-2 in conference play as well, 3-3 overall. Both teams in dire need of a win tonight for momentum purposes. And again, coming off that far left corner, he's going to be taken down right at the 20, and it's going to be third, maybe 6, maybe got a yard on that.
Yeah, that's the great stop there. Now you get them in third and in mid-range, 3rd and 5. 3rd and 4, and you want to stop here. You want to stop, and as a defense, you want to bend but don't break. When you're playing a team that runs the ball a lot, you know they're going to get 3 or 4 yards, but you don't want that big play. You don't want them to push you around all game.
3rd and 4 from the Miamisburg 20. 7:39 to go here in the first quarter. The last time it was 3rd down, it was 3rd and 9, and of course it was Baker who decided to call his own number on the option. He was able to pick up 9 and then some for the first. So a 3rd and 4 from the 20 here, 7:26 to go. Baker fakes the handoff, keeps it this time. He gets a couple yards, and he'll be taken down. He won't be enough for the first. You go for it here. They do have a really good kicker, though. They're one of the best field goal kicking teams. It's 4th down. Yeah.
It is 4 down territory normally, but when you have a kicker like they have, I don't know what you're going to do. But as a defense, that was a great defensive stop, and they kind of came back to that QB option. So Miamisburg read that really well. Will
Holt, the kicker for the Firebirds. He's 5 for 5 here on the season. 100%. His longest on the season, a 43-yard field goal. He's 13 of 13 on extra points. This kid is money.
It's such a good asset, a big asset to the team. When you have a kicker like that can get you points on the board when your offense stalls.
And just to feel confident every time. The snap, the hold, the kick. And this one is good, and the Fairmont Firebirds will strike first, and Will Holt, 5 for 5 on the season, make it 6 for 6 on the season. He remains 100% on the year. Most importantly, he gives the Fairmont Firebirds the opening score on the opening drive. It's 3-0 Firebirds. The Vikings trail 3-0 with 6:33 to go. We just watched the Firebirds in their opening offensive drive. We'll now get a chance to take a look at Preston Barr, Jackson McGowan and company. It'll be Miamisburg on the receiving end when we come back.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
Justin Kenner, Josh Copeland back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. It's our ESPN Dayton High School football game of the week. The Miamisburg Vikings, the Fairmont Firebirds, week 7. And the Fairmont Firebirds will kick off a little squib kick, and Fairmont might have recovered right around the 47 of Miamisburg. Fairmont leads at 3-0. And it looks like Fairmont, after the kickoff, after the field goal on the opening drive, it's Fairmont football, yes.
Caught them completely off guard.
It caught them off guard. It caught us off guard. And, Fairmont right now, just such a very good, we talk so much about offense, and then we focus on the defense, but Fairmont has to be one of the best, if not the best special teams unit here. And you see plays like that. Right there, just being able to create extra possessions just off special teams right there after, of course, making that long field goal by Will Holt in the previous drive. So now we get to see Fairmont Firebird, their offense for the second time here tonight in the first couple of moments of this ball game.
Special teams, having a great special teams plan it does wonders for a team, and it builds confidence, and you can win or lose games on special teams. And for them having a great special teams unit, it just adds confidence to them everywhere they go.
Brock Baker lines up under center, 1st and 10. No, within there, a little miscommunication. Play breaks down. They still may have gained a yard on that, but we're used to seeing Fairmont so buttoned up. You don't see that often, but nonetheless, it's going to be 2nd and 9 now coming up from the Miamisburg 47, 6:06 to go here in quarter number 1. The Firebirds lead at 3-0.
Yeah, Fairmont, they are a very disciplined team. That's one thing I noticed the last couple of games. They are very, very disciplined. They don't make very many mistakes.
They were disciplined going all the way back to weeks 1 and 2 when you're used to seeing teams not look as disciplined or as buttoned up, but not too bad. 2nd and 9 coming up, 5:42 to go. Ball at the 47. Baker Hands it off up the middle, and, of course, that's going to be another couple-yard gain, but nothing much. Got to give Miamisburg defense a lot of credit because Fairmont was moving the ball solidly in that opening drive. They held them to a field goal. This isn't the best circumstance here after of course, losing the ball in the kickoff opportunity for their offense to take the field. Now their defense has to go right back there and, again, stuffing Fairmont in the first 2 plays of this drive. 3rd and 7 coming up from the 45 now.
Yeah, you take pride in being a run-stopping defense and being physical. So when they can do that and they can stop them, that just adds confidence to them.
Baker sends a man in motion. Hands this one off. Now the option. Now he pitches it back out, and he's hit hard. Ball rolls out of bounds. It doesn't matter, though, but nonetheless, I got to give Miamisburg defense a ton of credit. They could have gone out there flat. They could have felt sorry for themselves, and they almost played angry right there. I was expecting Fairmont to play off the momentum of forcing the turnover, but nonetheless, that's going to be a 3 and out and a 4th and 5 coming up from the 43. 5 exact minutes remaining on the clock, and we'll see Fairmont's punt team come out for the first time.
Yeah, that was a great play by the defender. It was a QB option. They go to that in 3rd down that they've done their last couple of times, and he was able to read the quarterback and make the quarterback force the pitch and make the tackle.
So now we'll see Fairmont punted from about the 45 on their side, and that'll go out of bounds. So now we'll keep it here as the Miamisburg offense will come out onto the field for the first time. We'll get to see Preston Barr and company. Preston Barr has thrown 102 pass attempts on the season, completing 57 of those. Has 791 total passing yards, has 6 passing touchdowns. He does have a tendency to throw interception here or there. He has 3 on the season. A very efficient passer. He has a 134.6 rating coming in. They also have Brock Vaughn, who's capable of making plays in the air as well. He's completed 30 of his 46 pass attempts. It's a very balanced team because Preston Barr can also run the football. They also have Christian Davis, and nothing really working there again on the 1st and 10 from the 30.
Yeah, they're completely different offensive style than Fairmont, and they have so many options, whereas Fairmont, you know what they're going to do. They're going to line up, they're going to run the ball. With Miamisburg, they spread the ball out, so that adds a lot to the defense because they have a lot of weapons, and you're trying to know which one to stop in which situation.
Right now, that's going to be 2nd and 8 from the 32 coming up here. We're talking about Drew Baker being the leading rusher in the G-Walk. And for the Fairmont Firebirds, you have Jackson McGowan, who's the leading receiver in the GWAC, 683 total receiving yards. Preston Barr loves to target him, of course. And this time on the handoff to Christian Davis, he's going to square his shoulders and be taken down right about the 35-yard line. So about a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 coming up. 4:07 to go, 3-0 Firebirds with the lead.
Yeah, we have a receiver like McGowan, that just opens up the field. That spread, you have somebody who can take the roof off, take the top off the defense. That makes the defense hard. It makes you hard to stop because you can do multiple things. And when you get in this situation, 3rd and 5, you have multiple options to go to.
3rd and 4, Preston Barr in the shotgun. Drops back, keeps his eyes on the field, connects in the middle. It's enough for the 1st down, and he'll turn, and that's going to be enough of a play to move the chain. So a good play right there by Preston Barr. They didn't go for the home run play. They did exactly what they needed to pick up the first move. Going.
Yeah, when you have them in the options, you can kind of pick your poison and see. You can pick your poison and just see what the defense gives you. Right now, they was in the zone, so the middle of the field was wide open. So the tight end was able to just sit down there at the 1st down and make the conversion.
Christian Davis gets the handoff, cuts up. He's going to get to the 50. He's going to get to the 45, the 40. He's going to stiff arm a defender, and he's still on his feet. Be pushed out of bounds. And a nice gain there, but I do see laundry, and that's probably going to indicate holding. So this one's most likely coming back. Yep. We do have Keith Byers here in the box, by the way. So we'll pull him into the broadcast coming up here in just a little bit. But 3:31 to go in the first quarter. A 3-0 lead now for the Firebirds.
Yeah, that's frustrating as an offense. You get a big play, you change the field, you're going down there, and you make it have a good drive, and then it gets called back with the holding. That's frustrating.
So now what would have been a 1st and 10 deep into Fairmont territory. Now it's 1st and 21 back in Miamisburg territory. So Christian Davis in the backfield along with Preston Barr. Jackson McGowan lined up to his right, sends a man in motion. Screen pass to Christian Davis. He's at the 30. Splits to a couple defenders. He can get to about the 36, 37-yard line. So that's enough for about a couple-yard gain, not a lot.
Yeah,
But the one thing about Miamisburg, they have the weapons here on this 3rd and long to potentially come away with a big deep pass here to maybe move the chains. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, when you have the threats and the receiver threats, it softens up the defense. So they have to. The linebackers are caught in between run read and pass read. So that can open up a lot of things. When you do a fake, it draws the linebackers in. You can hit right over the top of them.
I thought it was second down there. That was first down. This is second down. 2nd and 19. Preston Barr drops back, steps in. Nice. Nope, a high throw, and it's intercepted right at the 45-yard line. And the defender's still on his feet. He's going to be pushed out of bounds. And that'll be the second turnover, if you will. Of course, they fumbled the kickoff return on the opening drive. And then right there, Preston Barr steps in. I talked about it. As good of a passer as he is, he does have a tendency to throw interceptions from time to time. His 4th interception of the season gives the ball right back to Fairmont's offense. So we'll see if the defense of Miamisburg can come out with that same intensity that they did the last time down the field.
Yeah, anytime there's a sudden change and you kind of get back on the field as a defense, you come with a little bit of intensity. You want to get the ball back to your offense. But that looked like it was a miscommunication between quarterback and receiver. Quarterback thought he was going to stay outside. Receiver broke inside. Cornerback is sitting right there. So that's something they can clean up on the sideline.
It's always tough, especially. So on top of that, there's also a personal foul against Miamisburg. So when it rains, it pours, and a bad situation just got worse. So the interception, of course, was brought back to about the 35-yard line. Now it's going to be pushed back to the 25-yard line. So that's a crucial mistake right there. Again, you're Miamisburg, you're frustrated. You got to be able to compose yourself here in the early going. You don't want to lose this ball game in the first quarter, basically. They're only down 3-0, but they got to find a way to compose themselves and get another stop right here, at least hold them to a field goal.
Yeah, you don't want to beat yourself. That's the thing. When you're playing a good disciplined team like Fairmont, you don't want to beat yourself.
So now, again, he's going to roll out to his right. He's at the 35. He's at the 30, I'm sorry. He's spun around, and, again, a lot of laundry. I think things are getting pretty chippy on the field. I think that's why you're starting to see the officials throw a lot of flags, just trying to regain control of this one right now.
Yeah, when you especially when you're in week 7, you get to the end of the season, and there's a lot at stake. There's playoff implications, there rivalry, there's things that happen. So you definitely, but you have to keep control. You have to keep your composure. You can't just give them yards and make it harder on yourself.
So a little bit of a break right there for Miamisburg, who's had a lot of penalties and turnovers go against them. Now a penalty against Fairmont, who is one of the least penalized teams in the GWAC, of course. This is going to move them back significantly. We saw a 1st and long, 2nd and long, of course, for Miamisburg, their last possession. Now we're seeing that for Fairmont here. 1st and 20 from the 39, 2:16 to go here in the quarter number 1, and the Firebirds lead it 3-0. 1st and 20 from Miamisburg's 39. Sends a man in motion. Handoff, fake pitch to the outside, and he's swallowed up there in the middle. Miamisburg defense doing a very good job, especially in the middle. That's why you're seeing a lot of, they're going to the option a lot because there's nothing up the middle that they're able to take advantage of.
Yeah. Miamisburg is definitely focused on the A and B gaps, if you will, and they're very focused on that. So Fairmont sees that they can have some angles and cut them off to the outside. So they're trying to reach the outside and get there. But Miamisburg is doing great with stopping that.
2nd and 25 now. Baker lines up under center, sends him in motion, pops back up again, resetting the play.
If I'm Fairmont, I would look for a screen here, some type of screen pass, catch him off guard, get something to the outside.
And another pitch to the outside, and he's going to get to the 40. He's going to cut back up to the 34, 33-yard line, and he's pulled down. I'm trying to get a good view of what number that was. It looks to be number. Either way, he was pulled down. So 3rd down now coming up, 3rd and 19.
And but to Fairmont's credit, when you have a kicker like they do, all you need to do is get in field goal range. All you need to do is get in field goal range, his field goal range, and you can put points on the board when your offense stalls. That's such a big asset to have, to be able to convert on field goals and get points on the board.
3rd and 19, under a minute to go. Quarter number 1. Baker lines up under center again, going to roll to the outside, and again the officials blow the play dead, and now it looks to be another penalty against Fairmont. I just talked about how disciplined and composed Fairmont is, but they just seem to be a little rattled here on this drive, and it's going to be 3rd and long. It's going to remain 3rd and long, and they move back 5.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to do. You're already in 3rd and long, but like I said earlier, you want to get yourself in position to kick a field goal. Right now, they might be out of the range, so it might be I don't want to say 4-down territory because he's a great punter, but you want to come with points whenever you can.
3rd and 24, ball on the 39, under 30 seconds to go. Baker lines up under center. Sends Soso Poe in motion. Fake hand. Oh, no, he does get the handoff. And again, nothing working up the middle. And we're so used to seeing Drew Baker overpower defenses, and that's going to set up a 4th and long, and I don't think Fairmont's going to be in a hurry to get a playoff. That's probably going to do it for the first quarter.
Yeah, Miamisburg's D-line is definitely turned it up after that first drive. In the first drive, you have your nerves. You're trying to get a feel for the cadence. You kind of get a feel for how they come off the ball. And now they're settled down. So we're going to be in for a dogfight today.
It's going to be 4th and long, 4th and 23 from the Miamisburg 37 for the Fairmont Firebirds. That's how we end things here at the end of the first quarter. 12 fresh minutes up on the clock. It's 3-0 Fairmont. Quarter number 2 coming up in 60 seconds.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
Hey, Buckeye fans, as the official wing sponsor of your Ohio State Buckeyes, Roosters is giving away 12 trips for 2 to this year's Buckeye Bowl game. Each trip comes complete with airfare, hotel, gift bag, and 2 tickets to the big game. One bowl prize winner will be chosen each week, along with other cool Roosters weekly prizes. So register every week at roosterswings.com. Roosters, a fun casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Official contest rules at roosterswings.com.
Fourth and 23 now. That was a punt, of course, for the Fairmont Firebirds, and now Miamisburg will come back onto the field. Justin Kinner, Josh Copeland with you here. Friday night lights, week 7 of the high school football season. It's our ESPN Dayton high school football game of the week. And again, I didn't know really what to expect with this game because you have two explosive offenses, but just 2 different kinds of offenses. Miamisburg a little bit more balanced as far as the pass and the run game. Fairmont, we know, is all about that run, but again, they do their run game is so strong. But right now, it's that feeling out portion. It's been a little sloppy, a lot of penalties, a couple turnovers in the early going. Both teams feeling one another out here.
Yeah, when you have a game of opposites, it's about clock management and clock control. Because Miamisburg, when they get the ball, the clock is going to stop a lot because they pass the ball more. With Fairmont, it's going to run more. So you kind of want to manage the clock the best you can. So it'd be great to see the cat and mouse game between the coaches and how they manage the game.
All right, that was Jackson McGowan on the receiving end. That was his first catch here of the night. And now it's going to be 1st and 10 for Preston Barr. Ball to 36. Preston Barr sends a man in motion. Barr is going to hand this one off. Christian Davis squares his shoulders, gets the line of scrimmage. He's going to get to the 40 and be pulled down at about the 47, 48-yard line.
That's a great run. And when you have a spread offense, like I said, the linebackers, they can't be inside the box because you have 2 receivers out. So the linebackers, outside linebackers have to split the difference, and that opens up seams off the tackle and off the guard. So that's what you're seeing now. So that's going to be great to keep an eye on to see how Fairmont comes back and kind of counters that.
11 minutes to go here in the first half. 2nd and 3 now, ball at the 43. Preston Barr going to send a man in motion. That man in motion is Drew Copsey. Fake handoff, and now he's going to tuck it and go. Preston Barr gets the first down and then some. He's going to get it to about the 48, 47-yard line on the side of Fairmont now. They're in Fairmont territory.
Great run read. Great read by the quarterback to keep the ball there. And like I said earlier, there's going to be seams there with the running game that if Miamisburg can get the blockers out in front, it's going to be a long day for Fairmont because they can get there and they can get 6 yards of carry.
And when they're not turning it over and when they're not, of course, the penalties now, they're able to work within the 10 yards that they have. Of course, they're not trying to heave it down the field to pick up big chunk plays. 1st and 10, a little bit of a high snap, handoff to Christian Davis, bursts through the line of scrimmage. Of course, it picks up about 7 on the play.
Yeah, but when you are a balanced offense and you can establish the run like they're doing now, that opens up the pass. So that opens up them to get out and throw the ball and over the top because the defense now, as you spread out, you're kind of cheating up to stop the run. So I would look for something maybe here, maybe a screen or something where they try to take a chance because they had established 3 or 4 run plays in a row where they got great yards, so they might take a chance here.
2nd and 5, ball at the 43. Preston Barr with Christian Davis in the backfield on his right hip. He's going to send Drew Copsey in motion from left to right. This time he's going to grab it and go. He's going to get to the 45. He's going to bounce back out to the outside. He's going to get to the 40. He's going to run out of bounds, and that's going to be enough, I believe, for the first.
Hey, it went in a different direction. That was holding. Miamisburg.
And another penalty, and that's going to bring this one back.
That's once again, that's frustrating, but you're beating yourself at this point, right? You have a great drive, you have marching down the field, and you get 2nd and 5, and now you got a penalty. Now it brings it back.
So the ball's going to be placed right at the 50. And now that's going to bring up 2nd and 12. So what was 2nd and 5 and what appeared to be enough for the first down, the holding brings it back. And now with 9:44 to go, and they trail 3-0, 2nd and 12. Ball at the 50.
Yeah, you just don't want to keep getting penalties, especially like saying against a team like Fairmont, who has been disciplined all year. It's tough, and they control the clock. So the more penalties you have on yourself, the bad position you put yourself in.
Preston Barr, the shotgun again, going to send Copsey in motion. This time he almost fumble on the handoff, and right now they're trying to mix it up with the play calling. They're trying to set up that deep ball right now. They're doing a lot of short field attack right now. Of course, you can feel that they're trying to go deep here eventually, but they just have not been able to sustain the drive without, of course, having it come to a halt due to penalties and now setting themselves up in another 3rd and long situation. It was 3rd and 20 the last time they were on the field. Now it's 3rd and 17 from their own 45 after marching into Fairmont territory.
Yeah, when you have penalties and you are like they don't had a high snap there that bobbled, you're putting yourself in bad positions to where you're almost forced to make a pass. You're almost forced to be predictable.
Looks for Jackson McGowan here. Again, Preston Barr steps up, and, of course, he heaves it in the middle. It's his 2nd interception of the game, and it's intercepted. He's at the 45, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds at the 40. Fairmont has done a very good job at forcing a lot of turnovers over the last couple of weeks. They did it last week against Springfield, of course, and now they're doing it here against Miamisburg. That's their 2nd interception, 3rd turnover of the night for Miamisburg, I should say.
Yeah.
8:57 to go. Fairmont leads it 3-0, and now they have the ball deep in Miamisburg territory.
Yeah, when you are penalizing and you're getting yourself in bad situations, you're predictable. Fairmont knew they was going to have to throw that ball.
Yep.
So their DBs are backpedaling quicker now. The linebackers are dropping back, so he had to throw that a little higher to go over linebackers. Overthrew. The guy was right there to take the pit.
So Fairmont on the field. They have the ball once again. Now we see Brock Baker lining up under center. 1st and 10 from the 36. Hands this one off to Drew Baker again. Couple-yard gain up the middle. Really nothing cooking there. One thing got to continue to compliment Miamisburg on is the fact that you know what the strength of Fairmont is, and they are not giving up anything up the middle.
No, they are. Miamisburg's D-line is playing so well. They're playing gap control. They're being gap disciplined, and that's what you need to do when you have an offense that runs the ball a lot. You need to be gap disciplined, and that's what they're doing now to stop that.
So that's going to bring up 2nd and 8 after the 2-yard carry by Drew Baker. 8:25 to go. Fairmont leads at 3-0. Ball at the 34-yard line. Baker pops back up, looks over at the sideline, and waits the call. Again, Sosopo goes in motion. Again, back to Drew Baker, squares his shoulders, and again swallowed up, and another couple-yard gain. Nothing cooking there. Talk about the Fairmont offense when it comes to the run game. Came into this game 1,257 rush yards through the first 7 weeks of the season, 12 touchdowns. And to put that into perspective, I mean, that's about 300 more yards than the next team, which is Springboro. And you look all the way, they're in the middle of the pack, Miamisburg. They have 789. So, I mean, Fairmont almost doubles their rush total in the season.
Yeah, they're so disciplined, and their O-line gets movement on the ball. They push their D-line back, so they're really efficient at what they do.
Baker opts to keep this one. He gets to about the 26-yard line. Sorry, my angle was kind of blocked around.
Yeah.
So 7:21 remaining here in the first half. Fairmont leads at 3-0, and now they're deep in Miamisburg territory.
They called. It was a first down. They got the first down.
I think
Keith
just kind of whispered to us that it was a generous placement, but
I couldn't see there was a pillar right here, but it looked like it was 4, but they got the first down. So now you can kind of take your time because you have a kicker that can kind of make this field goal. So now you would love 6, but you're not necessarily pressed to get 6 points at this point.
Ball on the 25 in Miamisburg territory. 1st and 10, 6:51 to go. Fairmont leads at 3-0. It's our ESPN Dayton High School football game of the week. And again, another couple yard gain swallowed up once again. The defense of Miamisburg just continuing to do a very good job, especially in the trenches.
Yeah, they have keyed in that. Now at this point, you kind of know the cadence of the quarterback. You know kind of how the offensive line is going to come off the ball. You kind of know the tendencies from watching film study. So now they're keyed into, and they're stopping everything that Fairmont's throwing at them right now.
I said it was a couple yard gain. It was actually a 1 yard loss. 2nd and 11 coming up all the 26, 6:21 to go. And they're trying to get it going on the corners too. They're trying to, that's why you've seen a lot more option plays here tonight, just trying to pop it out to the outside. We'll see if they're able to get it cooking here. Baker lines up under center, sends a man in motion. This time he's going to roll out to his left, and he's going to call his own number. Avoids a couple tackles, gets to the 20, so about a 5-6 yard gain there, which is much needed. That's going to send up a third and manageable now, under 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, as you mentioned, they're trying to get to the outside. They know that everything on the inside is kind of shut down by Miamisburg D-line, so they're trying to break it outside. And if you can beat the guy, you can break contain, you can easily get 5-6 yards to be touched.
So third down, they need 5 for the first. They have the ball at the Miamisburg 20, 5:37 to go.
And one thing I know is now they're doing a lot more check with me. They're waiting for the the play clock to run down a lot more. They're playing clock management right now.
Sending a man in motion. Again, they're going to go right back to that far left side. He's going to be pulled down, so it's enough for the first down.
Yeah, it was a great play call. He faked the dive and then ran backside. Great play call in that situation.
So 1st and 10, they have the ball at the 11-yard line now. 5:13 to go. They lead at 3-0, and now looks like they're knocking on the door of their second scoring drive here of the night.
Yeah, and they're in no rush to snap this ball. I think they're going to take the next, however long it takes them to score, they're going to run it down to 4 or 5 seconds at least.
Yeah, the play clock's at 8 as we currently sit here now, and they get the snap off. He's going to pop it out to the outside. Nice pitch, good timing. He's going to get to the 5, and the ball is loose. Ball still in play. Miamisburg potentially recovered inside their own 5 if it is their football. And based on their reaction across from us, my angle is blocked. It's Miamisburg football. And now they were able to finally force a turnover and return the favor.
Yeah, that's that bend but don't break defense. And that's a great play call. That's a great tackle, hitting high. They had two guys tackling, one hitting high, one hitting low to kind of force the ball out. But that's what you want to see. You want to see your guys when they get change of possession, their big backs against the wall so much this game. You want to see them come up and make a play and get a turnover.
So when Miamisburg's been able to, consecutive plays without a penalty, they've moved the ball pretty well against this very solid Fairmont defense. Really, right now, Miamisburg, they've kind of beat their own defense as we currently sit here right now. So we'll see what they're able to do. They got to cover a lot of yards as far as that's concerned. Right now, Preston Barr awaits the snap. He has the ball in his own end zone. This time he's going to go deep up the corner. Jackson McGowan again, his target.
I took a shot on that play, and you knew that was coming. You knew they was going to try to take a shot and see what happens, but there was really no read in that. It was kind of just – yeah.
So now the clock stops on the incomplete pass. 4:44 to go in the first half. It'll be 2nd and 10 now coming up. Ball on their own 3-yard line. They got 97 yards to cover here for a score.
It is now with your back in your own end zone. It's kind of you're not handcuffed by what you can play call, but things have to happen quick, right? Because you don't want to hold the ball, set back there and pat. You don't want to give up a sack.
Again, 2nd and 10. Preston Barr drops back. The pocket collapses. He just gets the pass out. And again, this is dangerous territory. I mean, obviously you're playing for a scoring drive, but you're almost wanting to try to find a way to kind of get away from your own end zone a little bit, just to set up a cleaner area for a punt, if you will. I mean, maybe that's not the most aggressive mindset to have, but they've been a turnover machine in the first half. There was almost a 3rd, 4th turnover right there.
Yeah, and when you throw it deep on the first play and you kind of wasted a play there, right? So now you try 2 more plays to try to get yards to get yourself out of that, because now you got to play field position.
Yep.
If you don't get a first down here, you're punting the ball. Fairmont's going to have the ball in short field. They're going to have the ball on their side of the 50.
Fairmont might send the pressure here. 3rd and 10, ball at the 3-yard line. Again, Preston Barr, quick release, connects right there in the middle. He's going to get the ball to the 19, spin to the 20-yard line, and that's exactly what they needed. So that's enough to move the chains. They extend the drive, and they get out of no man's land right there. That could have been very disastrous for as turnover prone as they've been to start the game. That was a very well executed considering the circumstances. 1st and 10 at the 16 now coming up.
Yeah, that was definitely a great play call, great execution. You don't want to come in off the turnover. Your defense gets a turnover, then you go 3 and out, right? That's something that you don't want to do as an offense. So to have that first down, it gives you some breathing room.
Preston Barr waits the snap, sends the man in motion. Gets it. This time hands it off, and there's nothing cooking there. It's going to get to about the 16 back to the original line of scrimmage. So nothing really working there. 4:16 to go here in the first half. A 3-0 lead for the Firebirds.
And the Firebirds, their defense has been great all game. They have been very disciplined. They have been stopping. They have been forcing turnovers. So it'll be interesting to see how they do, how Miamisburg decides to tackle the rest of this half. I think they need to get the ball in their playmakers' hands a little bit more. Number 84, who's their stud receiver. They have, as Keith Byers mentioned earlier, they only threw it to him one time, and that was on that deep go. So I think they need to give him the ball and just let the playmakers do what they do.
Preston Barr gets the snap, drops back, pressure already in his face, steps up to avoid it, but he can't get out of all the defenders in his face, and he's taken down and potentially sacked for a loss.
That was a great pressure, great play call by Fairmont, the Firebirds. Great pressure off the edge, collapse the pocket. Quarterback can't do nothing, step up, and he got a sack.
So a 3rd and 14, another 3rd and long situation. And again, the last 2 times they've had 3rd and long, it's led to a turnover. This is almost where Preston Barr, he tries to force something. His strength is also his weakness. He's capable of making these big explosive plays as they're one of the more explosive offenses in the conference, but kind of works against them sometimes. You know they're going to go for Jackson McGowan right here. 3rd and 14.
You would imagine so.
Preston Barr drops back. He's at the 5. He's going to roll it to his left, keeps his eyes locked in down the field, has a defender in his face, and he's going to be smart with this one and throw it away. Right. That's going to set up a 4th and 14 now. Punt team coming out.
Yeah, and to go to your point, when you have such a strong arm, which he does, you kind of it's a blessing and a curse at the same time because you feel like you can fit it in some tight windows, but when in actuality you can't. And so that's what he gets in trouble, is trying to do a little too much. But that was very smart on his play. Just take the 4th down, punt it. Your defense is playing well. It's a low-scoring game. Game's tied. Well, not tied, but it's close. So you definitely don't want to make mistakes and swing the momentum back to Fairmont.
The ball's on the 12. It's 4th and 14. They'll have to punt. The punter standing between the R and the M and the Fairmont, or in their end zone, but and the Fairmont, of course, paint there in the end zone. That's where the punter awaits the ball. The snap, and he gets this punt off, a solid snap. It's going to bounce right about the 46, and it's going to roll all the way to the other side, almost about the 42, 41, 40-yard line right there. That's a nice punt all the way between the R and the M. So that's where Fairmont's offense will come back out. They turned it over the last time down the field inside the 5. How will they respond? They lead at 3-0. We'll be back for the final 2:37.
It's time for frickin' football. Frickers has a way to make this the winning season. Try a frickin' chicken taco, grilled chicken taco, or Mississippi barbecue taco for a limited time. Enjoy a 48-ounce personal pitcher of domestic draft beer.
I like this kind of party. I like this kind of party, baby.
All the games of college and the NFL at the place that leads the way with inflation-busting prices, everyday values, and where kids eat free. The home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. Frickers.
ESPN Radio. About 2:31 remaining here in the first half. The Fairmont Firebirds lead it 3-0.
That was a great play by the corner right there. They ran the option to him. He sat there, didn't take the fake, didn't take anything, and just made a great tackle for loss.
So 2:13 to go here again. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 now. Ball at the 41. Two minutes remaining here in the first half. A 3-0 lead for Fairmont. Baker lines up under center. And there's about 15 seconds on the play clock. And this time he's going to snap this one. And it's going to be a couple-yard gain. Goes from the 41 to about the 46. A nice little solid 5-yard gain. That's going to set up 3rd and 5 coming up now.
Yeah, you're looking for Fairmont to try to get this first down, and they're just going to try to run the clock out the rest of the game. The rest of the half. You know, they're going to try to break the clock down, play clock management. They're trying to have the only possession the rest of this half. If they come away with a field goal, great. If they come away with a touchdown, great. But they're not trying to give the ball back to Miamisburg at this point.
You can talk about that play clock again. We're right now sitting 14 seconds on the play clock. 1:16 remaining in the first half. It's 3rd down and 5. Ball at the 46. Baker keeps this one. He tucks it. He cuts up in the middle. He's going to get back to the 49, the 50. He's a couple yards short of the first down now, and now they have a decision to make right here. Do you be aggressive? I mean, right now, Miamisburg hasn't been able to get out of their own way. I think right now, I think you go for it right here.
I think you do, because your offense is set up to get 2 yards. That's what you built your whole thing on. I would go for it. and
Keith is giving us the punt sign. Either and they're going to go to each sideline to think about it. We'll step away. Timeout on the field. Timeout here. A 3-0 lead for Fairmont. 1:01 remaining in the first half. Fairmont 4th and 1 when we come back.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
Justin Kenner, Josh Copeland back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. It's going to be 4th and 1 for the Fairmont Firebirds at the 50 with under a minute to go, about 51 seconds remaining now, and that's where they're going to bring the punt team out. And so with under a minute to go, and assuming nothing goes wrong here, of course, on the punt return opportunity here for Miamisburg, we'll see what happens. But no, now they're going to rush back up to the line of scrimmage. They are going to go for it. Yep. Lines up under center, 4th and 1, trying to get the hard snap. Yeah, the hard count going, trying to get him to jump off. And again, looking over, there's about 7 seconds remaining on the play clock. They look back over to the sideline. 4th and 1, 30 seconds remaining. 3-0 lead for the Firebirds, and a timeout is called by Fairmont. So
great discipline by Miamisburg. When you can kind of see, they got to get 25 seconds on the shot clock. I mean, not on the shot clock, but on the game clock. That puts less time on the clock. So that was a great decision by that. That's that cat and mouse game I was talking about, or time management.
For coaching, and Dave Miller does about as good a job as anyone out there when it comes to that. Yes,
especially in a low-scoring game like it is and being so close. You don't want to waste time. You don't want to give them extra possession. So you can give Miamisburg the ball, punt it to them, give them the ball with 20 seconds left in the game. I mean, in the half. That's in your favor.
Coming up here at the half. Tonight in high school football halftime show, Skip Mossick catches up with Jim Lachey. And, of course, they're going to talk about some of the small-town football up in the MAC, up near St. Henry, Ohio, Coldwater, Ohio, Marion local. My wife is from St. Henry, of course, so they'll be talking about her neck of the woods up there. So, nonetheless, 4th and 1 now, again, coming out of the timeout. 25.8 seconds remaining here in the first half. The Fairmont Firebirds lead at 3-0.
See if they can get a good punt off on this one. The punter has shanked 2-0 onto the side the last 2 punts. So if they can get a great punt off, it'll be great going into the half.
The punt returner just inside about the 19. Going to run that one down again.
Solid punt.
Baylor Stickle, the punt returner, of course, who was lining up for the return. So there's 19.1 seconds remaining. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 16 for Miamisburg. And with the way they've taken, they have not done a good job taking care of the football tonight, of course. I'm really curious to see how they're going to approach this. Is this just going to be a come out, hand the ball off, and let's just get to the half down 3-0? Or are they going to try to be aggressive here on this opening play? Maybe go for a big play again, trying to target Jackson McGowan to kind of get him going heading into the locker room, as they like to see him kind of take some momentum into the half. We'll see what happens here.
I might try to take one shot with 19 seconds left. You could try to take one shot, but you don't want to force anything and get a turnover and have a great return back and get them in field goal position.
Preston Barr hands this one off again. He's going to bounce back out to the outside. He cuts inside. He's going to get back to the 28-yard line, and a nice run there by Christian Davis.
That's smart.
Yep, under 10 seconds to go in the first half. And you're right, they could have gone for something big, but they're just going to run that clock down.
Run the clock out. Reevaluate. Go back, reevaluate the game plan, make some halftime adjustments, come out with this still being a one-score game. It can go either way.
All right, so Brandon Williams is back in the WING studios. He's going to give you updated scores around the Miami Valley. You'll also hear from Skip Mossick, Jim Lachey, of course, during our Tonight in High School Football halftime report. And we'll also have first half stats and then a recap coming up before second half action. The Fairmont Firebirds lead at 3-0 over the Miamisburg Vikings. It's halftime, and we'll be back in about 20 minutes or so, but we send it back to the WING studios with Brandon Williams and our Tonight in High School Football halftime show with Skip Mossick. That's all coming up right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Chest up, engage your core.
At Misty's gym, boot camp gets pretty close to the real thing. She wants to spot a personal trainer with a military background.
I can cover this week's boot camp, but we need someone stat. Isn't your cousin a Marine?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Smart businesses are always looking for ways to improve. Better work days can start with Cintas. Your dedicated Cintas service reps help make sure you have what you need when you need it. We'll stock your essential cleaning products, deliver hygienically clean workwear, inspect your fire extinguishers, and provide first aid and safety supplies. Cintas is with you every step of the way, so you stay a step ahead. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Can I get the sales projections for the Springfield, Bristol, and Fairview stores?
Val's Froyo Palace is dishing out 3 more locations.
Jody, have you lined up interviews?
They need 3 new store managers before they have a meltdown.
And remember, they need at least 5 years experience.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Of all the multitudinous manifestations that water can take, in oceans and ice cubes, in glaciers and streams, vapors and rain, double black diamonds, lap swims, and brains. Of all that water everywhere, only 0.5% is fresh water available for human use. That's why at Moen, we're innovating to save 1 trillion gallons of water by 2030. Discover Mission Moen at moen.com.
If you have a small business, Staples has your sign.
Banners for my bakery?
Staples has your sign.
Oh, posters for my new pet store.
Floor decals for a pharmacy.
Every day, Staples associates help every kind of small business create bold signs to make big impressions. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. This is your sign, so print it big at Staples. Ends 10/1. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
When I got the news, I was shocked.
I was scared. I was angry.
When I heard it could be treated with the right care, I was relieved.
I was happy. I was given a second chance.
Urology Specialists of Ohio offers men peace of mind. 5 physicians and 5 locations. Now accepting new patients. Make an appointment with a physician that cares about your health and prevention. Urology Specialists of Ohio, Beaver Creek, Springfield, Urbana, Xenia, and London. Online at urologyspecialistsofohio.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BREAK to 321-321. That's BREAK to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Ohio high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Ohio News Network, this is the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football. Named Best Sports Program in the Country by the National Association of State Radio Networks. Tonight in High School Football is presented by Beck's Hybrids. Now here's your host, Skip Mossick.
And hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tonight in High School Football's halftime report. This evening we'll talk some Western Ohio high school football and the powerful MAC Conference with former OSU All-American, NFL All-Pro, and the pride of St. Henry High School over in Mercer County, Jim Lachey. That's next on the Ohio News Network.
Every farmer has their reason for why they do what they do. For Beck's, it's faith, family, and farming. Since 1937, the Beck family and family of employees have been committed to honoring God and helping farmers succeed. Farming is full of extremes, and we face the challenges with hard work and steadfast determination, delivering quality line of products backed by legendary customer service. We look forward to standing by your side, supporting you as you live out the life you were meant to live. Beck's, when it comes to farming, we believe in something more.
I'm Scott Demaro, president of the Ohio Education Association, and on behalf of the OEA's 120,000 members, we're proud to bring you tonight's game. OEA members teach in Ohio's public schools and universities. We drive your kids' buses and serve them lunch. We're school nurses, custodians, librarians, and more. And we coach your kids on the field. We believe in great public schools for every student, and we believe our team is always stronger when we stand together, just as we have for 175 years.
This is Tonight in High School Football on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Skip Mossick.
We are presented by Beck's Hybrids. At Beck's, they are and will remain farmers at heart. And welcome back, everyone. Halftime of your game broadcast. We're joined this evening by former OSU All-American, NFL All-Pro out of St. Henry High School over in Mercer County, Jim Lachey. And Jim, we always like to talk to people from various parts of the state. Tell us about what Friday nights are like over in Western Ohio in those small but very passionate communities about their high school football.
Well, there's nothing else to do, Skip. So they all go to the football games. A lot of the family members are involved, either cheerleaders or in the band or with some activity. Usually there's a little pickup game of young kids behind the bleachers that like to throw the ball around a little bit. And you got a group of people that'll sit up in the stands, and you got a lot of people that like to stand down on the fence. So there's two different sections. But what we found out when, that MAC League started back in 1973, when I was a young guy, that, we didn't know if it was going to be any good or not, but it ended up being a heck of a football conference. And Marion Local now, has the most state championships of any team. So it's a great conference. It's a great place to grow up and learn how to play the game of football.
I was going to ask you about a couple of just perennial powers. You mentioned Marion Local. Yeah. They're obviously unbeaten.
Tim Goodwin does a great job there. A fabulous job. Heck of a coach. He gets the kids that come out in the community, and they want to do it. And why wouldn't you want to do it? You got an opportunity to win 4 state championships. They've seen their older brothers do it. A lot of people there are related in one aspect or another. So, you see your cousin have a couple rings, an older cousin or an uncle or a brother or something like that. And all of a sudden you want to be involved in that. And, every year he has a bunch of kids out. They work extremely hard at it. They're very fundamentally sound. And, same with Chip Otten over at Coldwater. He's done a fabulous job too with the same thing of, just being a good, fundamentally sound football. Don't turn the ball over, be able to run the football and stop the run, and make some plays on special teams. So they're doing well. Minster's been stepping up. Versailles over the years. There's Delphus St. John's for a lot of years has been some good football. So it's a great place to go back and watch football because it's real special.
Again this year, Jim, the expanded playoffs where 16 teams from each region get in. I mean, even teams like your alma mater who've struggled so far this year would still get in if the season ended today. Are you a fan of the extra week of playoffs?
Yeah, I understand why they're doing it, and I think we all do. It gives them an opportunity to have an extra game, get some extra kids in there after not having football for a year or two. So, it's kind of evening up. Will it go on in the future? I don't know. I think it's something that they looked at. They're trying to work with it. It's an opportunity for kids if they want to continue to play in another playoff game and have that opportunity. I know as a senior, when my last game was over, regular season, I would have sure liked to have at least one more opportunity to play with the guys and the guys that you played with basically since youth football throughout middle school and then throughout 4 years of high school. Anybody would like to have one more opportunity to play. So, it's a lot, but I think it's good for right now.
Jim, participation numbers are down in some areas of the state due to a number of reasons. As someone who played at the highest level, I mean, your boys both played, your youngest continues at Iowa. What would your message be to parents who may be uneasy a little bit about their sons playing football?
It's ultimately up to the kids, but as a parent, I think that there's certain things about football that you've seen it. I've been involved with it. Yeah, it can be dangerous, but for the most part, it's not. Those are few and far between. It happens. I've had operations and injuries from playing football until I was 33 years old. So but I knew that. I accepted the risk, and I think you go out there and young kids. What's tough about football is it's demanding. Practice is not fun, especially if you're an offensive defensive lineman and you're not catching the ball, you're not even touching the ball, you're not even looking at the ball. You're just out there learning, in a 3-point stance. So for today's kids, sometimes maybe soccer or kicking a ball or something like that is a little bit more active. But I think the kids that do dedicated to it and like it, will have lifelong friends like I've had and lifelong memories and, opportunities that they've never maybe ever dreamed of if you keep working on it.
Former Buckeye OSU All-American, NFL All-Pro offensive lineman from St. Henry High School, Jim Lachey, we appreciate your time.
Anytime, Skip.
And we'll be right back on the Ohio News Network.
Bex recognizes this week's player with heart, Allison Michaels from Bellevue High School, for her commitment and passion on the field and within the farming community.
I actually started playing golf because I play softball as well, and the swing from golf to softball was very similar, so I just kind of played it so I had something to do in the fall.
Now Allison plays golf full-time. It's her only sport, but it goes well with the rest of her activities, like National Honor Society, Yearbook Committee, and FFA.
I participate in more of the LDEs, so the job interview contest, public speaking, different things that I know I can use later in my life that will be important.
All tools to serve her well as she works on, get this, her own farmland she rents.
I do all the financial work and everything, and then I also do all of the harvesting, planting, everything that's involved in it. It's strictly my operation.
At Bex, we are and will remain farmers at heart.
This is ONN.
All right, thanks once again to Jim Lachey for joining us this evening. Enjoy the second half of your ball game. I'm Skip Mossick on the Ohio News Network.
This has been the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football, presented by Bex Hybrids from the Ohio News Network.
If you have a small business, Staples has your sign.
Banners for my bakery?
Staples has your sign.
Oh, posters for my new pet store.
Floor decals for a pharmacy.
Every day, Staples Associates help every kind of small business create bold signs to make big impressions. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. This is your sign, so print it big at Staples. Ends 10/1. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
I'm Dr. Stork. Doesn't your family deserve the best? Eggland's Best Eggs. Classic, cage-free, and organic give you and your family more. More delicious, farm-fresh taste, plus superior nutrition. Compared to ordinary eggs, Eggland's Best provides 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, and 25% less saturated fat. These are no ordinary times, so why choose an ordinary egg? Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Can I get the sales projections for the Springfield, Bristol, and Fairview stores?
Val's Froyo Palace is dishing out 3 more locations.
Jody, have you lined up interviews?
They need 3 new store managers before they have a meltdown.
And remember, they need at least 5 years experience.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You need employees.
Tell me about it.
Actually, tell us about it.
Why?
Because when you tell us about your job openings, we can tell over 300,000 other people.
You can?
Yeah, whether you're looking for a job or a better job, Alpha Media Recruitment can help fill any position with qualified job seekers with a custom plan that combines our broadcast and digital platforms.
You can do that?
It's what we do. Alpha Media Dayton, on air, on site, on demand. Call 937-519-0111. That's 937-519-0111. Or email DaytonJobs@alphamediausa.com. That's DaytonJobs@alphamediausa.com.
It's time for Frickin' Football. Frickers has a way to make this the winning season. Try a Frickin' Chicken Taco, Grilled Chicken Taco, or Mississippi Barbecue Taco for a limited time. Enjoy a 48-ounce personal pitcher of domestic draft beer.
I like this kind of party. I like this kind of party, baby.
All the games of college and the NFL at the place that leads the way with inflation-busting prices, everyday values, and where kids eat free. The home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. Frickers.
The year was 1907. The Cubs won the World Series and the Ford Model R hit the assembly line. While here in Ohio, school administrators came together to form the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One thing that hasn't changed since 1907 is the dedication of the OHSAA to education-based athletics in Ohio. School sports teach responsibility, sportsmanship, and life lessons that stay with students long after their playing days are over. The OHSAA seeks to prepare students not for the next level of sport, but for the next level of life.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Ohio high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Fairmont leads Miamisburg 3-0 in our high school football game of the week. We had a quick first half, only 45 minutes of real time. But let me get you guys checked in on some other scores in the local area. West Carrollton currently trails Sydney 28-14. That game is in the second quarter. Carroll trails CJ Big 21-0. That game in the second quarter as well. Springfield has a 20-0 lead over Springboro. That game is also in the second. Greenville trails 28-3 versus Pickwa. Pickwa looking good in the first half of that contest. Ken Ridge trails 28-16 versus Jonathan Alter. Now let's get to the Bengals. The Bengals beat the Dolphins 27-15 on Thursday Night Football last night. The Bengals are now 2-2 after that surprise 0-2 start. So they finally get back to 500 after what people would call a Super Bowl slump. But speaking on that game, Tua, he got hurt in that game last night again. I didn't think he should have been out there following the game versus the Bills. Even though he returned in that game, led the Dolphins to victory, it just looked kind of scary the first time he went down in that game. So I didn't think he should have been out there, and just praying that he is able to have a speedy and safe recovery. Let's stay in the NFL, though. The 2-1 Browns travel to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Right now, after 3 games, the Browns not doing too bad. 2-1 without Watson. We thought it could be a rough start for the Browns, but I'm interested. What will their record be after 11 games? They look good so far after 3 games with Jacoby Brissett leading that offense. And, of course, they have that strong running game with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. But I'm interested to see what this Browns teams will look like after 11 games. Let's go to college now. Ohio State hosts Rutgers at 3:30 tomorrow on the Big Ten Network. The Buckeyes look to stay rolling after that 52-21 win in the blackout at the Horseshoe versus Wisconsin last week. And I started to think, are there any contenders besides Ohio State and Michigan to win the Big Ten? Penn State maybe, but we don't really know if that's the team that they're going to be. It's still early on in the season, so we'll see if they're able to be the other contender in the Big Ten besides Ohio State and Michigan. But that was just a quick update. Back to our high school football game of the week between Miamisburg and Fairmont. Kenner and the guys will lead you off for the rest of the game.
Are you ready for a mealtime favorite made famous? Then stop by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken and order up a chicken pot pie combo for only $6.49. You'll get chunks of savory premium chicken, carrots, peas, and potatoes in a creamy sauce, all baked in a flaky pastry crust and served with a regular drink. This is comfort food at its finest. Get the meal that's oven fresh and wallet friendly with the chicken pot pie combo. Only at Lee's. Famous for chicken.
Josh Copa back with you here, and we're just moments away from the second half kicking off here. Again, we're live here at Roush Stadium, home field for, of course, the Fairmont Firebirds. Week 7, it's our ESPN Dayton High School football game of the week. The Firebirds lead it 3-0 over the Miamisburg Vikings. And we talked earlier, Josh, about how, especially at this point of the season, we expect both teams to look a little bit more buttoned up. But even for Fairmont, who looks solid to start, couple turnovers, some big penalties. It's been kind of a sloppy game on both sides of the ball for both teams. I'm really interested to see what adjustments both coaches make at the half. Only a 3-point game, a 3-0 lead for Fairmont. Miamisburg's been knocking on the door of a couple impressive drives, but they've had about 3 or 4 third and long situations that they have not been able to dig themselves out of. They have to clean that up if they want a chance to not just win this ball game, but even put some points up on the board tonight.
Yeah, when you look at the first half, Miamisburg had chances. They just shot themselves in the foot. They had penalties, turnovers, things there. So their offense was moving the ball, then it stalled. So you want to see them clean that up for the second half and try to put points on the board. But for Fairmont, it's you want to try to capitalize when you're moving the ball down the field. They've had some great drives and they haven't capitalized on it, but you have a great kicker. So just get it inside the 30-yard line and you have a chance to put points on the board.
Well, the good news for the Miamisburg Vikings, they don't have to wait long to show what adjustments they made at the half as their offense will receive. Yeah, and Keith right now, he's sending us a note saying, when is Miamisburg going to feature Jackson McGowan, too, future Bearcats, of course. They only had a few targets for him in the first half, but they dropped back to pass on quite a few of those plays. I think he had like one catch for a first down, but outside of that, they really haven't been able to get him going.
Yeah, and I don't know. I got to see a little bit more if that's the defensive scheme to try to take him away, or is it just that their O-line is not necessarily blocking as well because Fairmont's been getting a lot of pressure on him.
Preston Barr sends a man in motion, hands this one off. He's going to come out to the outside. He's going to pop out to the corner. He's going to be taken down right about the 24, 25-yard line. That's a big pickup right there. And again, a very solid play to get things going, not going for a home run play right off the bat. 4-yard gain. And again, just a very solid start to the half, 11:55 in the third quarter.
Yeah, when you come out the half, you want to get positive plays. You get 4 yards there. That's some good. Now you're in second and manageable. So now it kind of opens up the playbook a little bit more. You have different options you can do. But you definitely want to put together a good drive here coming out of the half.
That was Connor Smith on the sweep again to the outside. And now that's going to bring up second down. Now they need 6 for the first. They have the ball at their own 24-yard line. So Preston Barr, Jackson McGowan, and Connor Smith lined up to his left. I know that's going to be the running back. He just tucks this one, calls his own numbers, jukes the defender. Going to get to the 25, 26, 27, and finally taken down. So another couple-yard gain right there. That's going to bring up a 3rd and short now coming up.
Yeah, that's a great gain right there. Great read on that to keep that to get some yards. Now you're in 3rd and 2, 3rd and short. You want to get the first down here. You want to get the first down. You want to continue to drive, build momentum, build confidence that you can drive down the field and that you can put together good plays back to back.
Big opportunity here for Miamisburg. Again, they've had quite a few 3rd down situations tonight, but they haven't had many 3rd and short situations. Penalties have been haunting them all night, but again, now they have an opportunity here. And we always talk about how bad it is in your opening drive to call a timeout 1 minute into the second half, but that's what we find Miamisburg doing right now. Not sure if didn't like the setup on the field, didn't like of course, the personnel out there, but an early timeout, kind of surprising, a 3rd and short coming out of this timeout.
Yeah, that is surprising. That means that you're not on the same page with either your coaches or they're not relaying the plays in quick enough that you would like, but you don't want to see that so early. You kind of want to set that whole first script of the first drive coming out of half in when you're planning. So you kind of want to have that already there so you don't have to burn a timeout early, because if the game keeps going like it is, you might need that timeout in the 4th quarter because it's going to be a close game.
So now both teams making their way back out onto the field following the timeout. Do want to give a shout out to Brandon Williams back in the WING studios for, of course, giving you a scan around the Miami Valley with some of the top scores. We'll continue to keep you updated on those. Here we go now, 3rd and short from the 28, 11-14 to go. Miamisburg trails 3-0. Again, Christian Davis going to bounce out to the outside. He has a first down. He's going to get to the 40, the 45, the 50. The burners are on. He's going to get to the 40 on the other side. He's finally tripped up at the 35-yard line, and an excellent play right there for Christian Davis. That's the first explosive play we've seen tonight from Miamisburg, and a much-needed one at that, deep in Fairmont territory now.
You can see how the mid-game halftime adjustments have been paying off. They've been hitting the outside a lot more this drive, and that's where they saw Fairmont had a weakness, is they can break, contain, and get outside and get some yards.
That's exactly what Miamisburg needed right there, and again, doing a good job continuing to move down the field now, and that was a nice play right there on the 1st and 10.
Yeah, now they're trying to run tempo. They're trying to get up to the line and snap. So now they're changing the pace of the game, which can't really sub like that as Fairmont, and you also put them in position to where you have your personnel on the field that you like.
1st and 10 from the 24. Preston Barr, Christian Davis, going to roll out at the 30. He's going to cut up to the 25, cut back inside. He's going to be taken down right about the 16, or about the 16-yard line. Yes,
this is a great executed game plan. Coaches went in at halftime, made some great adjustments. Now they're coming down to executing it. They're attacking the outside. They're attacking the corners. They're making the corners and the linebacker and the safety make a tackle, which they didn't do in the first half. They're trying to run the ball at the middle. So you're getting away from everybody, getting your playmakers the ball in space, letting them do what they do.
All right, now 2nd down. They need 3 for the first. They have the ball at the Fairmont 17-yard line. 10-14 to go. They trail 3-0. Preston Barr sends Connor Smith. He hands it off to Connor Smith. Pitch to the outside. He's getting to the 10, the 5, and Connor Smith runs it in for the first score of the night for the Miamisburg Vikings. In fact, that is the first touchdown of the night for either team, and the Vikings take the lead 6-3 with 10:07 to go.
Wow, you couldn't ask for a better drive to come out the half.
Yes.
Offense stalled. You show signs of moving the ball in the first half, stalled, beat yourself with some penalties. But to come out, march down the field, drive, score, you saw they attacked the weakness. That was another play outside, kind of a jet sweep kind of motion. And that's what they attacked.
So a 6-3 lead now after the Connor Smith touchdown. And now we'll await the snap and the hold and the extra point kick right here. The snap, the hold, the kick. And it is good. And a 7-3 lead now for the Miamisburg Vikings. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Vikings, because, again, we talked about there was quite a few drives in that first half where it looked like they were kind of knocking on the door of being able to put the ball in the end zone or at least put some points up on the board. But, again, 3 or 4 third and long situations in the first half. They just couldn't get out of that hole. But that was the most impressive drive of the night, really, for either team, and that includes Fairmont, who, of course, they struck first early in the first half. But they haven't been able to get it going between the 20s. I'm really curious to see what adjustments Dave Miller and company made as they'll receive the kickoff coming up here in a few minutes.
Yeah, that was a great drive. You couldn't ask for anything better. But, yeah, when Fairmont, as you come back, now when you're on the sideline as a defense, you're making those mid-game adjustments. Right now, it's really the cat and mouse game because they came out, they exposed the weakness on you. Now it's your job to come back and secure that because you can't give up those yards on the outside the rest because they're just going to keep taking them. So, I'll look for Fairmont to come out, and they want to establish what they've been doing, but I think they're going to hopefully put together a good drive here.
So now Miamisburg will kick it off for the first time since the opening kickoff in the first half of the game, and 10:07 to go here in the third quarter. It's a 7-3 lead for Miamisburg, and it's a booming kick, and it'll be returned from the 5-yard line, and he's going to make his way. I believe that's So Poe, and So Poe going to be taken down about the 24-yard line. It's about a 20-yard return, and solid return right there. So that's where we'll see the Firebird offense make their way back onto the field. Brock Baker, the quarterback, of course, very solid first half. Done a good job, of course, of running the offense. And Drew Baker really has not been able to get too much going here. We've seen him have some explosive games going back to weeks 1 and 2 when we had back-to-back Fairmont games. But the Miamisburg's done a good job containing him in the middle.
They have, but I would look for him. He's their workhorse. He's got them here. I would look for them to keep giving him the rock and maybe get him outside the tackles a little bit more, maybe get him in space some.
And now Brock Baker barking the orders at the line of scrimmage. It's 1st and 10 from the 26. A simple handoff up the middle again, trying to attack the middle. Eventually, you're going to start to wear down the interior defense of the Vikings, but at the same time, it's one thing when you have the lead, you're able to kind of hold it a bit. But
that's what you would hope. That's at this type of offense, you kind of want to wear down the defense, and that's when the big plays come in, when you can wear them down and you can get them to kind of be less disciplined or lack on their technique, if you will.
2nd and 9, only a 1-yard gain on that handoff to Drew Baker. Ball at the 27. 9:30 to go. They trail 7-0. Vikings with the lead. Brock Baker lines up under center, sends him in a motion, handoff right. No, he pitches it to the outside. Excellent read right there. He cuts back up and can be taken down about the 29-yard line, and a couple yard gain there, but nothing really cooking.
That's an amazing tackle right there. That's
the 24. I'm sorry, that was the 29, the 24. So
that's executed flawless. That's how you draw it up to defend that option. Somebody took the quarterback, the guy scraped over the top and took the running back. And if they're playing like this, it's going to be a close game here going out.
So I thought they got the ball to the 29. They actually got the ball only to the 30. Nonetheless, here we go. 3rd down, they need 6 for the first. Ball at the 30. 8:43 to go here in the third quarter. 7-3, Miamisburg leads it. Again, now we're a rare pass attempt here. Baker steps up, connects. I believe that's So Poe, and that's a complete pass and enough for the first down. So an excellent play drop right there. Again, I don't see them drop back to pass. I believe that's only his 4th drop back here this season.
Great,
and he's
great
2 of 4 on the season.
Yeah, great time to call that. You after giving up a score, you don't want to go in and go 3 and out or give up, have a short drive. You want to extend the drive, give your defense time to rest, reevaluate how their game plan is. But you also want to build confidence. You want to let your guys know that, hey, we can move down the field and we can score, and I trust you.
1st and 10 now. That was a huge play and a huge connection between, of course, Brock Baker and So Poe. And again, now he's going to call his own number. He's going to pop it up the field again. He's going to get to about the 45-yard line. So a solid gain there, possibly 7-yard gain there. That's going to bring up 2nd and 3 coming up.
And you see that the 2 different styles, right? Miamisburg was able to march down the field relatively quickly, had some big plays, and then put the foot on the gas and kind of was able to score. Fairmont is more methodical. They're more, we're going to take some plays, we're going to let time run off the clock. So it's great to see that. I keep saying it, but the cat and mouse game between the coaches on how the time of possession is going to affect this game.
2nd down, they need 3 for the first. Ball at the 45, 7:58 to go, 7-0 lead for the Vikings. Brock Baker lines up under center again. 1-for-1 in pass attempts, sends a man in motion. This time he turns, he hands it off. Drew Baker squares his shoulders to the line of scrimmage, moves the pile maybe a yard, maybe two. Going to be just a yard short, I believe, at the first, and the third and short coming up for the Firebirds.
That's all you will want in this situation. You get a yard. Now you're in third and short. Your offense is built for this. So you get this. You're built to get 1 yard. If your offense is built on running the ball and you expect to get 1 yard and move the chains.
See, this is what they're built for, as you talked about. That's why when they found themselves in that 3rd and 10 situation, it was like they had to be very creative, and they were able to catch the Viking defense sleeping a little bit. And they didn't like the placement of the ball. They decided to go ahead and call out the chain gang. Wow. We'll go and make a trip around the Miami Valley here with some scores around high school football coming up here in a few moments as we await a call from the official, and they say it's a first down. Excellent job there by Dave Miller, who, of course, from our angle did look like he kind of fell a yard short of the first, but when they placed the ball, Dave Miller's called for the chain gang, and they ended up winning that one right there. So pretty cool. 1st and 10, ball at the 48. Fresh set of downs now, 7:24 to go, 7-3 the lead, the Fairmont Firebirds trail. Some very surprising scores around the Miami Valley, and including the G-Walk. We'll talk about that coming up here in just a moment. 1st and 10 at the 48, 7:13 to go. Baker sends a man in motion, turns around, and again, it's 1-for-1 on the night. He gets the pass out just in time, and he connects, and he's going to get to the 50. He's going to run all the way to about the 44-yard line, this time in Miamisburg territory. I like the wrinkles. I like what we're seeing. We don't see this often from Fairmont's offense.
It makes them keep honest, right? When Fairmont's running the ball and Miamisburg is stuffing them, their D-line, and everybody's coming downfield right now, throwing in 2 pass plays there will make them take a second guess, right? Make them hesitate just a little bit, and then that opens up the run game. So those 2 completions are big.
Yeah, again, Brock Baker was 1 for 3 coming in to tonight. He had 40 yards on the season, but already 2 for 2 here tonight alone. 1st and 10, 6:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Brock Baker pitches it to the outside. He's going to get to the 40. He's going to be taken down about the 38, 37-yard line. And again, Fairmont doing a very good job. Just chunk plays. They've picked up a couple first downs here in the pass game, which has been pretty impressive.
Yeah,
continuing to move the ball.
And it just wears down the defense. That's all it does. When you have to come downhill and it's a physical game, it just wears you down. And that's what they hope for. That's their whole game plan, is wear down the defense and then hit a big play, whether it's a pass or whether it's a long run through Drew Baker in the middle.
So now Brock Baker, once again, a very impressive drive. 2nd and 5 coming up from the 37. Since Sosopo in motion, this time Drew Baker going to get the handoff. Couple yard gain, still a yard, maybe 2 short of the first, but another 3rd and short situation coming up here for the Fairmont Firebirds. 5:48 to go. The clock continues to tick as the Fairmont Firebirds trail by 4.
Yeah, and they just continue to eat up clock right now. They just continue to eat up clock. They saw how fast Miamisburg came down and scored, and the more they can eat up the clock and get some points on the board, that puts pressure back on Miamisburg when they get the ball.
So now 3rd and 1. The last time it was 3rd and 1, Dave Miller called the chain gang out and won that one. But now they need to pick up one here in 4-down territory. Drew Baker squares his shoulders, picks up the first down, maybe 1 or 2 additional yards, and that's exactly what Fairmont needed. And now, although they trail, you almost feel like they have right where they want, because now they're just continuing to take time off. Then they put the pressure on Miamisburg, because if they do score here and take the lead, now all of a sudden you have way less time than what you were anticipating to work with to try to hold the lead. So we'll see what happens here, but a very impressive drive. 1st and 10 from the 30 now, 5:04 remaining.
Yeah, this is a great answer to Miamisburg first drive. This is a great answer to get confidence on the team and put a drive together that wears them down.
Again, 1st and 10 at the 30. Brock Baker lines up under center, sends a man in motion. This time he calls his own number, tucks it in his right elbow, and makes his way up the middle for a couple-yard gain.
They're just marching down the field. This is who they are as an offense. This is who they are. They want to try to get 4 or 5 yards if they can a play, and that wears the defense down. That puts a lot of stress on the D-line to try to make a play. But as Miamisburg, if I'm Miamisburg, I'm looking for somebody to make a stop.
Yep.
I'm looking for somebody to make a play, make a big stop, 2nd down, get them the 3rd down, and make them kick a field goal. That's what I'm looking for out of Miamisburg.
So it was a 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5, ball at the 24. Brock Baker lines up under center, sends Drew Baker in motion. This time he hands it off. He's going to square his shoulders. Still pulls the defender with him. He spun down at about the 15, maybe a couple more yards after the initial spin down. It's a first down and then some. And again, both teams just look so much more buttoned up coming out. I don't know if, you're in week 7 now. I mean, you could think back to your playing days. What was that? What official week did you start to all of a sudden look ahead and be like, oh man, like it's almost playoff time? Like, right? Like there's a lot of playoff positioning, a lot of nerves heading into this game. I don't know if that played a role in the first half, but these two teams look locked in now after the feeling out first half. That's for sure.
Yeah, as the season goes on, each game becomes that much more important, right? Each game, because especially when you're in playoff contention. So the nerves kind of add up a little bit in the first half. But they come down, they both settled in, and that's a great run stop by Miamisburg. But they come down, they settled in, and you can kind of see they're both playing their game right now.
So now second down, 3:27. The clock continues to tick down. The ball's on the 13-yard line.
Yeah, this is right what Fairmont wanted. They're eating up the clock. This is a long drive. They're taking their time. They're wearing down the defense, and they're in control right now. They're controlling the momentum. If they can score a touchdown now, that puts pressure back on Miamisburg to try to score, because they know they might not only get 2 more possessions in the game if it goes like this.
All right, Drew Baker pops it back out to the outside. Good read there, and he's taken down about the 10-yard line, so a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 7 now coming up, and 3rd and goal with under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, now you're playing possessions at this point. As the clock winds down in the third, you're playing possessions, and so you want to know that you can get the ball a couple times and control the clock if you're a Fairmont.
Ball's on the 10. They need 6 for the first down. Brock Baker lines up, sends a man in motion, pitches it to the outside. So Poe has an opportunity to get a big block, and he does, and a nice open field tackle right at the 5. Maybe just saved a first down right there. That was an excellent open field tackle right there. He popped him down. That's going to bring up a 4th down now. Now, do you take the points right here? You know you have one of the best field goal kickers, if not the best field goal kicker in the GWAC right now.
I go for it. I'll go for it, get 1 yard. If you don't get it, Miamisburg has to track it, go down the whole field. Big boys bring the big boys in. But to go to that last play, that was a great run tackle, open field tackle. But what we don't see is the outside linebacker force that ball back inside. If he let him break contain, that's an easy walk-in touchdown. So these are the plays that don't see that are made.
And they are going for it again. He drops back. He's 2 for 2. Nearly intercepted, but it's deflected, or is it intercepted? I can't see from this angle, but based on that, they either broke it up. It's either turnover on downs or an interception. Nonetheless, they did not convert right there, and that may come back to haunt them with 1:32 to go in the third quarter, I should say. It's going to be Miamisburg football, and Miamisburg defense, that's the second time this game that deep in their own territory, they've been able to get a big stop, whether it was forcing that turnover in the first half or getting that stop right there.
Yeah, I think that's a case of you had 2 passing plays be completed, and you kind of go to the well too many times, when the well runs dry. And I think that they kind of outsmarted themselves on that one. That you're built for, you know what we're going to do. We know you know what we're going to do. We're going to run the ball. We need a yard. So I think that might come back and hum. But also Miamisburg has to go 90 yards or longer than that. They have to go the length of the field.
Preston Barr steps up and steps hard in the middle. He attacks Jackson McGowan, and he connects. Talked about how important it was to get him going, and now he's still taking the entire pile with him, and he's going to get the ball to about the 32-yard line, continuing to move it. That's the most jacked I have seen the Miamisburg sideline, whether it be the players on the sideline and the fans above them. That was an impressive play. The last time they were buried deep in their territory, again, that play started from the 5. Remember, they had to punt the punter was standing between the R and the M in the end zone. And they had to punt it to the 50. And right now they were able to get that big play right there from the 5-yard line all the way
That's
about the 34.
That's what you want. That you get the ball to your playmakers, and he carried about 7 people for about 8 yards to get that. That's what you want to do, and that's what you want to see. So the momentum's definitely going to Miamisburg side now. You get a great stop on defense, and you come out and make a big play on offense.
This is big, and again, continuing to make plays with his legs. He's finally pulled down, and that's number 4 for Miamisburg, and that was a huge play right there. That's a Drew Copsey.
That's another great play. And Miamisburg has all the momentum now. They're a little tired because some guys playing both ways, so they're going to try to go maybe do one more play before the quarter's over. But you definitely want to get those guys some rest and go into the fourth quarter, with the lead, and now you control the game.
So now it's second down. They need one for the first. The ball at their 43-yard line. Preston Barr. Christian Davis in the backfield. 16 seconds. It's in Copsey in motion. Preston Barr, quick release. Connects, I believe, to Copsey on the outside, who he just set in motion. And it's enough for the first. Again, things get a little physical down near the Fairmont Firebird logo there in the middle.
Great play call. You just want to get the first down. In that situation, you just want to get the first down.
I like that play call, too, by the way.
I love it. Nice little out to the tight end out in the flat, and you need 3 yards, you just get 4. You know what I mean? You just kind of march down the field, and now you're in control of the game, right? You was able to stop them from scoring. Now you're up 4. It's a one-possession game, and if you can come down there and score and make it a 2, you're putting a lot of pressure on a team, Fairmont, who doesn't score quick to do two scores in one quarter.
This is a huge fourth quarter coming up. Keep in mind, Fairmont beat Springfield a week ago. Miamisburg took care of business against, of course, Northmont. And right now you have two teams who are in the playoff rankings right now as we currently sit here at Division I in Region 2. Of course, Fairmont sitting pretty at 4-2. Miamisburg coming in at number 15. The first 16 teams make the playoffs. Miamisburg desperately needs this game more than Fairmont. Both teams obviously need it, but this is a big game for Miamisburg. You could tell they're playing desperate, and that was about as perfect of a third quarter as you can ask for. If you're Miamisburg, a touchdown on the opening drive, of course, and they did it very efficiently, no penalties, a very clean opening drive, and then on defense, just when it looked as if they were about to give up a touchdown coming back the other end, of course, then they ended up able to get a stop. So that was huge for Miamisburg. We'll see what they're able to do.
Yeah, you couldn't drop a better quarter than that. And now you kind of want to control the clock. Like I say, you don't want no penalties. You don't want any dumb plays. You kind of just want to march down the field, continue to do what you're doing because now they're settled in. You can tell now they are themselves. They are confident. They have the momentum. Now they just want to march down. If they can get a score on the board, this is huge for this.
And he connects to Copsey on the outside. He's going to get to the 45 and pushed out of bounds.
That was a great play call. That was kind of like a read option pass. That's one thing. RG3 made this play popular when he was with Baylor. You have so many options, and that's a great thing that I love about Miamisburg. They have so many options and so many weapons that you have to defend as a defense that you get a lot of guys in space one-on-one, and you just trust your playmaker to make them miss.
Looking at just the numbers from the first half alone. I mean, in the first half alone, Fairmont dominated time of possession, 19 minutes to only 5 minutes for Miamisburg. But Miamisburg's done a good job of balancing the run with the pass and really no penalties, not turning it over. They send Copsey in motion. Preston Barr gets the snap, fakes a handoff, rolls to his right, bounces back to his left, being chased in pursuit, cuts up, avoids the first tackle. He's going to get to the 40, the 35, still on his feet to get the first down. But I do see a flag. There could be holding that might call this one back.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. He had a great play, and sometimes in a broken play, sometimes the best you could do is just try to get yards, and that's what he did there.
So there will be holding on the play. So what was it? And by the way, an excellent play by Preston Barr. Did a couple very good job of bouncing to his right, avoiding a tackle, bounced to his left, then cut back up the middle, was able to pick up get a 10-yard gain, the first down, and then some, but now it's called back. No penalties in that third quarter, and a huge penalty right here that could cost Miamisburg. We'll see what will happen. 11:46 to go in the ball game. They lead it 7-3, and now it's going to bring up 1st and 22. It's the first time we've seen them have to cover a lot of yards to pick up a first here in the second half. Preston Barr awaits the snap, sending Copsey in motion as he's done all second half, who cuts up, fake handoff, and a quick release to Copsey there in the middle. That's who he's been targeting this entire second half, and another effective play. And again, in the first half, we saw him get the snap and 2-3 step drop and then hold it. He gets that snap and then he's of course releasing it very quickly. Just that quicker release is helping the flow of the offense.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that was the halftime adjustment for them. They wanted to attack outside of the hashes. They wanted to attack outside with one-on-one and make quick reads. You saw in the first half he kind of held the ball a little bit and was a little nervous. Now they said, hey, make one read and go.
It was 1st and 22. Now it's 2nd and 6. Preston Barr, he fakes the pass. Now he tucks it. He gets to the 40. He's going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 37-yard line.
Yeah, that's that one read and go. If it's not there, take it and try to make something happen, do some scramble drills. But they don't want him to kind of force the ball anymore. He's trying to settle down now. So now it's, hey, take what the defense gives you. Trust our offense and trust our playmakers.
Well, I will say this.
And by the way, Keith Byers with us here, ladies and gentlemen.
I've been here in spirit the whole game. No, but Preston Barr, I don't know everything's going over in Miamisburg. I think it had to be some kind of discipline because he didn't play at all the first half. they went with the left-handed quarterback.
That was not Preston Barr in the first half.
Preston Barr in the first half because and they like to play two quarterbacks. But
it was Brock Vaughn. Yes, my apologies, Brock Vaughn.
No, that's okay. And so with Preston Barr, is that more of a quicker decision athlete. This is my third time seeing Miamisburg this year, so they do like to play two quarterbacks. But it seems like the second half is going to be more Preston Barr. He's the one that gets the ball involved to number 84, Jackson McGowan.
So a fourth down now coming up for the Vikings. Remember, it was 1st and 22, then 2nd and 6. Pick a couple more yards on that third down. Now they need 1 to extend this drive. Preston Barr with Christian Davis in the backfield, sends Copsey in motion again. Ball at the 35. Christian Davis gets it, dives towards the line of scrimmage. Is it enough? It looks like he got that forward progress right there to be able to. Again, just depends where the official is going to place the ball. Ball placement's going to be key here.
But you could definitely tell the difference in quarterbacks and how they run the offense. This is like the Miamisburg. You can kind of tell they're more settled in and they're moving the ball a lot more. So yeah, great point, David. I don't know if that you're right. There's disciplinary reasons or whatever, but they are right now. They're
a different team with him at
a completely different team. They came out of halftime with a fire under them, and they're clicking on all cylinders right now.
Another opportunity where the chain gang has to come out. Josh, it's always interesting. Chris and I over the years have talked about how we never see the chain gang come out. We've seen them come out more this year, Keith, than any other previous season. And we await the decision here. Again, it's 4th and 1 from the 35. They think they have enough for the first. We'll wait to see what the official rules, and it's enough for the first. And the Miamisburg sideline erupts because they are able to keep the drive going. There's 10:44 remaining in the ball game. They lead at 7-3. And although a score doesn't necessarily put an end to this ball game, it does create a situation for Fairmont where when you're a run team only, this is a situation where if you have a 7-3 lead, it's in favor of you, but are they built to come back and score quickly? We haven't seen that at all from them this season. We'll see what happens.
Miamisburg can score from anywhere, as they've seen already tonight. Yep. They got big playability. Not that Fairmont doesn't, but Fairmont's like the ground and pound.
Yep. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line, this time inside Fairmont territory. 10:37 to go. The Vikings lead at 7-3. It's been a much different-looking Miamisburg team here in the second half. Preston Barr running quarterback now. Again, Christian Davis with him in the backfield. Jackson McGowan lining up in his far right with Copsey. Again, Preston Barr going to roll out to his left. Keeps his eyes locked in down the field. Christian Davis there in the middle. It's bobbled off his hands and nearly intercepted. That would have been the third interception of the night for the Fairmont defense if they were able to convert.
I think now you kind of just want, if you're Fairmont defense, you like we keep talking bend but don't break.
Yep.
You want to give them, you want to stop them, you want to put them in a tough third down position or fourth down to where it's 4 down territory. Do they punt it? And you need to get the ball back right here. You need to stop coming back from 2 scores down when you're predominantly run heavy offense is going to be a tough task.
You're right about that. Drew Baker. He hasn't broken one today. He's that guy that just wears defenses down. And next thing you know, those 1 or 2 yard runs turns into 5 and 7. Next thing you know, he breaks a 20, 30 yarder. But they can't do that there. He's on the sideline. So this is the time if they want to win this game, they have to step up right now. And at best, give them a field goal attempt. But you can't let them score.
All right, there's a timeout out on the field. We need to take a 60-second timeout ourselves. When we come back, Keith Byers has been keeping track of some of the scores around the Miami Valley, a couple surprising ones at that. Keith Byers will update you on some of the scores around the Miami Valley. When we come back, it's a 7-3 lead for the Vikings. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the Fairmont 34 for the Vikings with 10:18 to go when we come back.
How did hiring the right person become so difficult? Well, it doesn't have to be. Alpha Digital already has targeted databases built of very qualified candidates that are just looking for the right opportunity. That allows you to target exactly who you're trying to reach with a budget that is customized just for you. Learn about all the possibilities by going to alphamediadigital.com today. Find your next star employee with alphamediadigital.com.
Voting can change our world. It can shape my neighborhood.
Voting is about our future.
Voting matters.
But I can't vote.
Nope, neither can I. I'm too young. Same. So to all the grown-ups, it's up to you. Our future depends on it. Register to vote. Get registered. We need you.
Visit voteohio.gov to register online for the November 8th election. Sponsored by Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose, aired by the OAB and this station.
a good one to do it for. It's 3rd and 8 for the Miamisburg Vikings. They have the ball, of course, at the Fairmont 33. They lead at 7-3 with 9:40 to go here in the ball game. Preston Barr gets the snap. Quick release. He's going to go to that far left sideline. Jackson McGowan is target. No flag is thrown, and that's going to bring up 4th and 8 now from the 33. Keith, what do you do in this situation?
What about the ball on the 33-yard line? I'm going to go for it. You know, your defense has been pretty stout all evening, only giving up 3 points. I have Jackson McGowan on my team. You know, something I'm going to have him involved either as a decoy. His catch radius is unbelievable. You know, this is my 3rd game watching him, and the first 2 games I've seen him, he's done something big time, and even tonight. So he's had a big time catch in the crowd, and he's already get on the ground. So, and he's single covered right now. You got to give him a shot.
Preston Barr awaits the snap. 4th and 8, ball at the 33. They are going for it. Preston Barr gets the quick snap, has pressure, steps up in the pocket. He tucks it. He's going to get to the 30. He's tucking up, and of course,
looks like he's got a lot of laundry on the field.
That's one way or another. Regardless,
a lot of laundry on the field.
That play collapsed pretty quickly. He's actually, the offensive line's been very solid for him here in the second half, but that play kind of fell apart early.
Yeah, Holden, bring it back.
Well, now what do you do? I think you make this one pretty easy. Now, yeah, you had an opportunity.
Yeah.
But that's fine, though, with 9:28 to go.
Fairmont needed right there.
And their offense, they eat up the clock. So Miamisburg might only get the ball back once or twice more the rest of the game. So you want your defense to come out and get a real big stop right here. Try to get them to go 3 and out, but you don't want them to march down the field.
You know, if I'm a Miamisburg punter, I'm gonna do everything I can tell them to please don't kick the ball in the end zone.
Well, I think right there, I don't think it wasn't enough for the first down.
Oh, that was 4th down. They declined it. So, decline the penalty and they get the ball. So Fairmont ball. That's
first and 10 Fairmont. So that makes that decision pretty dang easy then. So there you go. But 1st and 10, ball at the 26 for Fairmont. This time they're going to hand it off up the middle, and again, nothing really cooking. Again, Keith, we've seen this in Josh all night. Nothing up the middle. There's been that Miamisburg defense has just been fantastic.
Yeah, they've been stout with the tackles and the D line there to kind of get pressure and move the offensive line back.
They're winning the game in the trenches.
That's what it is. As you know,
control the trenches.
As you know, when you can control the trenches, it makes it very hard on the offense, especially the run heavy offense. When you can control the line of scrimmage, that puts a lot of pressure on them to do things uncharacteristic to try to make a play.
Well, I mean, if I'm Fairmont, I need to win this game. You can't go 3 and out. So you're 2nd and long here. You got to have positive play with next 2. You got a guy. Can he hang on to it?
He connects.
He does.
That was a 2nd and 10 from the 26, and this is the most we've seen them utilize the pass game all season long. And, you know, as you do get closer to the postseason, you're starting to kind of break out a little bit more wrinkles. You've had, of course, 6 weeks, 7 weeks to work on, adding some new wrinkles to your offense. They've mastered the run game, I think it's safe to say. It's kind of interesting seeing them break out some of these new wrinkles, of course, and that's going to come in handy, especially with the postseason not too far off in the distance. 1st and 10 at the 43. Bakerson's a man in motion. Hands it right off up the middle. And again, just nothing cooking up the middle. Kind of reminds me of that Bengals game last night. Every time the Bengals would start to move the ball pretty solid through the air, you want to balance it with the run game. But Joe Mixon just couldn't get anything going last night in the run game.
Yeah.
I never get mad about it, Drew Baker. He's so special. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. I don't know if we're going to have enough time tonight, but, the kid, he's proven his worth. I've seen enough of him over the years. And I'm not going to call 2 and 3 plays in a row without Baker touching it.
Kind of like that Nick Chubb effect too. Nick Chubb kind of wears you down the quarters 1 through 3, and then the 4th quarter breaks one open. Maybe his time is coming. Pitch to the outside. So Poe getting to the 40, the 45. He's going to get to the 50, and he's taken down about the 49.
But that play right there is the reason why you get Drew Baker the ball. He attracts a crowd. So he didn't get the ball that time, but look how many Miamisburg defenders that was all over him that opens it up for the next guy.
So Poe on the nice play right there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 3 now. Well, I thought he got to the 49. I thought he got to the 49.
Yeah, I think it was a horrible mark. But it's 4-down territory. It's at the ball's at the 50. They got 2 downs to get 3.5 yards.
7 minutes remaining here in the ball game. 3rd and 3. As you talked about,
timeout on the field. I don't know.
So a timeout on the field, yeah.
Yeah, they know that this is crucial time.
So a timeout out on the field. We're going to take a quick timeout ourselves. We'll be back in 30 seconds. It's 7-3 Vikings with 7:04 to go. Fairmont 3rd and 3. It's their ball when we come back.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
Justin Kinner, Josh Copeland, Keith Myers back with you here. Second half action. Mr. Dave Noggle taking down his happy birthday balloon here live in the press box. You can take that home with you. You're going to wrap it on your wrist and walk around.
Oh, I didn't get that memo. It's Dave's birthday.
It's Dave's birthday, yes.
25 or 38 years old?
He said he's the big 8-0, by the way.
8-0.
He does not look 80. I told him that before the game today, by the way.
I'm on pace to catch you.
Yes. Yeah. 3rd down and 3 for Fairmont. And again, the fake handoff. He's going to hold it. Baker squares his shoulders, and that's enough for the first. Absolutely. Drew Baker may have had a slow night tonight on the ground, but, it's been the other Baker that's been making some big plays.
Yeah, definitely. And Keith made a great point. Drew Baker draws such a crowd. Even you use him as a decoy in some plays, but he draws such a crowd that at least 5 or 6 guys are going to be around him every time, which opens up the outside, and you might have your playmakers in the open field one-on-one.
And I think that's Miamisburg's
the minute they cheat and try to cover the outside too quick, Drew Baker's gone.
That's Miamisburg's mindset too. Hey, if you beat us, it ain't going to be Drew Baker that beats us. They're going to make, whether it's So-So Poe or whether it's the other Baker, they don't matter. Here we go. And again, just swallowed up at the line of scrimmage there. Nothing cooking. 6:30 to go. 7-3 Vikings lead it. 2nd and 9, I believe, coming up at the 40 on the 46-yard line. So it's Fairmont football if you're just joining us. They were able to get a field goal on the opening drive of the night, but they really have not been able to get anything else going offensively here tonight. Credit the Miamisburg defense. Keith, we watched, you've had Miamisburg the last couple of weeks, but we watched Wayne just dice up this defense 2 weeks ago, and this just doesn't look like that same defense that we watched go up against Wayne 2 weeks ago.
You're right. I mean, a couple weeks ago, they came out flat as a pancake, and they never got into it. Last week, they were totally different, and tonight, they got back into it.
And again, more great defense from Miamisburg. I mean, Fairmont trying to create just different wrinkles through the run game, but Miamisburg, they're taking away every angle. Got to give them credit. The 3rd and long now coming up. 3rd and long, especially for Fairmont.
Last time, they had 2nd and long, they threw the ball.
Yep.
I was looking for a pass this time, and now it's 3rd and long. They got to throw the ball or hope they get at least 4.5, 5 yards to be able to go for it on 4th down. Because I don't see them punting at this point.
Look for So-So Poe to get involved here.
5 minutes to go in the game, 5:15 and counting.
Number 8, So-So Poe, has been very explosive in these situations tonight as well.
Reverse.
Pitch to the outside, a nice little reverse and they're
pass,
going with
screen.
the trickery here. He has to find a way. He keeps it in. He's at the 40 again.
Get outside, he got a chance.
This play's breaking up right now. Yep.
If he could turn the corner.
Avoids a couple tackles, picking up a couple yards.
Like 3 yards.
It was the ugliest 3-yard play I think we've seen, but it was positive yardage.
He ran 50 to get 3. He ran a half gasser.
Yeah, but that's not Fairmont, all right? And when you put pressure on you do things uncharacteristic, you try to make a play, and that's what happened there. That's not their game, but it's one thing that you try to bring a wrinkle in to try to make a play. You have to make a play in the situation.
They still got 2 timeouts. It's 4th and 6.
Big opportunity coming up right. You talked about it, Keith. 4th and 6. They have the ball at the 42. They did everything they could. I mean, you got to credit Miamisburg because we haven't seen Fairmont make those kind of play calls this year.
They're not ready. They're gonna take the time to talk about this 4th down play.
We'll keep it here with that timeout on the field, but you got to credit Miamisburg's defense. Fairmont, they don't make those kind of play calls. They are totally right now. They're thinking too much, and that's the credit of Miamisburg's defense right now, kind of forcing them out of their comfort zone.
Is showing real good discipline in the defense. When you play this wing T offense, you can't follow the ball. You got to follow your keys. Especially if you're the outside linebacker on the left, you got to look across the formation to see what that guy's doing, not the back that's near you. And so you got to be real, disciplined defensively and don't get nosy. and they're really, reading their keys and, staying disciplined and staying true to what they've been talking about all week in practice, and they're applying their game plan tonight.
Jocelyn Kinner, Josh Copeland, Keith Byers, and again, we'll take a look at some scores around the Miami Valley in a moment. But this, again, two teams who are in the playoff picture out of the Division I and that Region 2. You have Fairmont, of course, who's right there coming in at number 4 in those ratings that just came out earlier this week. And then there's Miamisburg, who's at number 15, 16. The top 16 teams in each region make it. This is a huge opportunity here for Miamisburg. Yes.
It's a gauntlet.
4th and 6, Baker. He tucks it and goes, and Baker gets the first down. That was a huge play. It's Brock Baker. It doesn't matter which Baker. Baker gets the first down for Fairmont. They extend the drive, and they extend their opportunity here to potentially
that third
score.
Down play was huge, not taking that big loss. That was huge to give it a 4th and a chance, because otherwise that's 4th and 20. And they got a chance. So it's if I'm Fairmont, it's winning time. We're all in on this drive right now. It's 4-down territory from here on out.
In that weird situation where as a defense, you always at what point do you just say, you just got to hurry up if you know they're going to score? And I'm not confident they'll score. They've turned the ball over on downs or even the fumble inside the 10. I'm back in, on 2 possessions here tonight. And that's that big play you were talking about, Keith.
Almost.
1st and 10 from the 34. That was a big explosive play from Drew Baker finally.
But you're right. Something has to happen, right? Because Fairmont, they're going to eat the clock, and this is right where they want you to be. They got you right where they want you to be. They're marching down the field. They're eating the clock. They know that they have the momentum to score right now, put you in a tough position. So as at Miamisburg, you're looking for somebody to make a play. You're looking for somebody to come and make a big hit, make a stop, the ball back.
If you're Miamisburg, you're hoping for at least a holding call to put them behind the chains. They get a successful first down chain, not a whole playbook that opens back up for Fairmont.
Brock Baker hands this one off. And again, not a whole lot working there on that 2nd and 3 from the 27. We're under 3 minutes to go. Yep. So they continue to hand it off to Drew Baker. That again, you said, Keith, they're just trying to. Eventually, one of these is going to burst. Like one of these, something's got to give
Drew
eventually.
Baker has to spend Saturday in the ice tub. he takes a beating every Friday.
He is their workhorse.
They treat him like a rental car, right? Like they.
He is their bruises out there on his whole body.
He was the GWAC's leading rusher last year. He's the conference leading rusher this year. Fairmont, of course, no surprise, has the leading rushing attack in the GWAC. 3rd down now. They need 3 for the first. The ball at the Miamisburg 27, 2:17 to go. Squares his shoulders and he gets it.
That's a great play call. I love this
off
play
of Drew
call.
Baker. They fake it to him and just follow.
And he's a lead blocker now.
Yep.
So now you have more people there.
Everybody's tackling Drew. And quarterback, I'll take this positive yard.
Yeah. Now, you couldn't draw up a better play, a better sequence of play calling in this scenario.
What a great night to be at a football game. Friday night, great weather. We're in the fall now. 2 minutes and less than 2 minutes to go in the game, and the home team is driving, to win the game. What a festive atmosphere.
And that cold fall crisp air hitting us too. And again, the keeper again right up the middle, couple yard gain right there.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like Fairmont has the lead because right now they're just controlling that clock, and you just feel like they have the time in their favor, even though they're trailing.
They like to take their time, but they got to speed it up right now. You got 1.5 minutes to go, and you're inside the 20, but you don't have that much time. You're running the ball. Yes. You can only stop the clock one more time from here on out.
Right, because they wasted 2 timeouts.
Yep. Miamisburg, they've only had the ball twice this second half. They've only had the ball twice. Here we go now on the 2nd and 6. Still on his feet, moving the pile from the 18.
We'll stop with a first down, but that's not quite a first down, I don't think.
So they get the ball to about the 11 or 10.
The clock will stop temporarily until they get the chains reset. But there's no more first downs from here, and the ball's on the 10. There'll be no more first downs. The game is coming down right here, right now.
And a timeout. Keith, if you will take a look now, again, there's a timeout on the field. This obviously one of the bigger games in the Miami Valley here tonight, which is one reason why, of course, we had it on our schedule to call tonight. But a lot of other big games around the Miami Valley. We'll go ahead and give you some scores and updated scores around the Dayton area. Springfield up big over Springboro, 34-7. That game's in the 3rd quarter. There was a game that you were kind of following earlier. I mean, Centerville and Beaver Creek, that was actually a very close ball game in the first half. Centerville leads at 24-6 over Beaver Creek. Beaver Creek had 1 win in the last 2 years, and of course they started out 2-1, and it's been a little slow for them to start. But this has been a much improved season for Beaver Creek, that's for sure.
I'll say, you want to see that program, get back in being relevant again and feeling good about it. They got great facilities out there, and it's just a matter of time. So, hey, they're not getting blown out against Centerville. So that's still a win for them, for the program.
About Xenia and Butler, 21-20. Xenia over Butler right now. That game's in the third quarter. And what has happened to Northmont? Northmont looks so dominant to start this season, and they've just got steamrolled the last couple of weeks. They got beat bad by Miamisburg last week, and they trail Wayne 35-0 right now. Here we go now. It's first balls on the 10-yard line.
Here we go. Who wants it?
7-3, Fairmont trails. 1:14 to go. They have the ball right now, and again, they're just trying to find a way to punch it in. And again, excellent tackle right there for a loss.
Get up. You got to get up and get the play called.
Second down coming up. A minute to go. One timeout remaining for Fairmont.
Are they going to have a game-winning pass, a touchdown pass?
It has the makings of that. Right?
They got to throw it at least once before this game is over with. Inside a minute.
They have to get a play call here.
They
the way they're going, they might only get 3 more plays before the game's over. You don't have the lead here. You have to score.
If you're just tuning in, it's 7-3. Miamisburg with the lead. Fairmont has the ball. It's second and goal. They have 30 seconds to score the football. They trail. And again, there's Baker. Drops back. The pocket's collapsing. He rolls out. He gets to the 10, to the 5, and he's tripped up at about the 6-yard line. They got to call that final timeout. Yep. So that's going to bring up a third and goal coming up outside of this timeout, assuming they call one, and they do.
Wasted. In my opinion, they wasted too much time to get that play off.
Yeah, a lot of it.
They wasted too much time to get that play off.
We knew it was going to be a pass because they don't throw it.
Timeout. We'll just keep it here because I don't want to risk us not being on when they come back. But
that's it. But no more timeouts for anyone.
So the timeouts are done. There's 24 seconds remaining. The Vikings lead at 7-3. We've seen the Vikings get 2 major stops within their own 10-yard line. I mean, they forced a fumble in the first half. They had that. They got a huge stop on 4th down deep in their territory the last time. And they're hoping they have one more big stop left in them here.
Can Fairmont run the ball with 24 seconds?
Get one
run it. You got to.
You got
to get lined up. Do you spike the ball? What is it, 3rd down? You can't spike it. On 4th down, that happened to me in college. Trying to forget that. Hashtag Purdue 1984. Mike Thompson, love you still. You can't spike it on 4th down. So you
even said his name. You even said his name.
I love it. That's my brother. I love it. A little shell shock still. Brought back memories.
All right, now, so the Viking defense, they've already broke their huddle.
It has to be some to the wide side.
Fairmont's using every bit of seconds of the timeout that they have, but they have to hurry up and get out there.
19, 18 on the play clock.
15 seconds on the play clock. They got to sprint out there now. If you're just joining us, 7-3, Vikings
10,
with the lead. Fairmont has the football with 24 seconds remaining. They have the ball inside the 10.
They're not going to get the playoff in time.
They're not going to get the playoff. You're right.
4. They won't. They got a penalty. It's a penalty.
This is crucial right here, and a huge mistake by Fairmont.
Oh, my gosh.
And the coaching staff is upset. The fans are upset.
Oh, my gosh.
And this is a huge blunder. What would have been 3rd and goal.
No. You can't blame it on the referees or anything. You got to pay attention.
That's crucial.
Wow.
And Miamisburg cheering out loud on their side. A lot of confusion here on the Fairmont side.
Yeah, it's not confusing between the white lines. You got to get a play call.
Now you can't run the ball. Now you absolutely cannot run the ball.
So 3rd and goal from the 5, and now you got 3rd and goal from the 10.
So now they need 10 yards to pick up a touchdown. Fairmont trails 7-3. There's 24.1 seconds remaining. They did not get the playoff in time. They needed 5 for the score. Now they need 10 for the score, and they break the huddle, and here they go. They're lining up. 3rd down. They need 10 for the score. 24.1 seconds remaining.
You got to play the pass first.
Brock Baker. Can he make a play with his arm? That's going to have to come down to that unless they make a big play on the ground. They send a man in motion. Brock Baker fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right, gets the pass up. He has an open guy in the end zone. He comes down with it. Is it in? Yes. Is he in?
Out of bounds. Incomplete.
So, not the end of the world in that situation there because it does bring up a 4th down. They have another crack at it. The clock does stop. But it does come down to this play and this play alone.
The game clock is running, so you got 30 seconds. So take your time, but be quick about it.
You called it earlier when they had to stop on 4th down in the red zone, and you said, is this play going to come back to haunt them to get points? If they would have kicked a field goal there, they would have been trying to cook a field goal here to win the game.
So here we go now. It's 4th down. This is the final play of the ball game, most likely, unless they score here. They need 10 for the touchdown. They trail 7-3, 17 seconds. Brock Baker waits the snap.
action.
He drops back. He's
Got
at the
a guy in
15. He
his
lobs
zone.
it wide
Got a
open. He
guy.
connects. Fairmont
Touchdown.
scores the touchdown, and they take the lead 9-7.
Wow. Keith called it.
Keith, you did call that. That guy was wide open, but he had another open man, too. Brock Baker, the quarterback for the Fairmont Firebirds, steps up and completes the touchdown pass to give the Firebirds a 9-7 lead.
Oh, my.
Coach,
Just how you drew it up, right?
Dave Miller knew exactly what he was doing. Dave Miller wanted the penalty. He wanted the 10-yard pass. He didn't want the 5-yard pass. Yes.
In the back of the end zone.
He's playing chess while we're all trying to play checkers, and so there you go. A 9-7 lead. What a series of events that have unfolded here in the final moments of this ball game. This is a crucial extra point.
It's not over.
No, it's not. That's why this is a crucial extra point right here. And again,
I don't want to get ahead right now, but
and the snap, the hold, the kick, and it is good. And it's a 10-7 lead now for Fairmont.
Let's go back to Miamisburg. It's 12 seconds to go on the clock. You figure Fairmont's got to squib kick it. Miamisburg has speed. They almost broke one earlier. So they're going to get a good field position. You got to tackle the kick returner first. So let's say even if you tackle the kick returner with 2-3 seconds left on the play clock, and he gets that ball around the 35-40 yard line, you got to figure out Jackson McGowan you got to double, quadruple team him. The quarterback has a strong enough arm to get him the ball.
Keep in mind, Landon Hurt, the kicker for Miamisburg. He's only attempted 4 field goals this season. He's only made one of them.
Yeah, they onside kicked it earlier, so you got to alert for that. It's some kind of squib. Miamisburg is going to get an opportunity. So it's a lot of time left. 12 seconds is an eternity.
You have a press box full of Kettering people looking at you saying, be quiet, Keith. Be quiet, Keith.
I just call them balls and strikes.
I agree. You can't give them time to return this. You have to scrib it, kill some clock, but you can't. Miamisburg has too much speed to risk breaking one and getting in good position.
Connor Smith is excellent, too, in these return situations. Jackson McGowan, as you talked about. So they run up, they pop back. They're going to reset here again. 12.9 seconds remaining. Fairmont, they scored 3. They had a field goal in their opening drive and didn't score since.
In your cars, you should be here. You're missing out.
All right, Dan. And it's a booming kick.
The clock starts when he starts.
I believe that's Connor Smith at the 5. Connor Smith going to bring it up. He's going to pop to the outside. He's going to get to the 25 to the 30 after continuing to take time off.
5 seconds. The game's going to be over.
You got to get on the ground.
He's still up. And the game.
Oh, my gosh.
But he's still on his feet. He's still rolling. Bodies dropping everywhere. He hasn't been caught yet. He's going to get. He's still going, Keith. And he pops it back.
He got a lateral back.
And that'll do it. The ball is loose.
The ball's still alive.
What is happening?
Wow.
There's another lateral.
And he's still on the ground. They get the lateral back. There's a flag. The ball is loose once again. And that, in a very unconventional finish, will do it.
I doubt the flag, unless the flag is on Fairmont,
But my goodness, what a finish.
Let's see what the flag is. If it's against the defense, against the kicking team, they still may have time.
I think they're saying no. I think the ref said I just dropped it. I didn't mean to drop it.
No flag.
No flag. He's like, just go home.
They did not want no part of that.
Your final here tonight from Roush Stadium. Your final: the Fairmont Firebirds 10, the Miamisburg Vikings 7. Miamisburg Vikings, they led it 7-3 with under a minute to go. Fairmont, who had not scored since the opening drive with the field goal, did not score all night until that touchdown to take the lead. And again, a team that doesn't pass the ball, it was the 3 big pass plays that was really the big difference maker. Good for Fairmont, showing versatility that I did not think they had. I'm very impressed with what Fairmont did here tonight.
Yeah, they definitely came out. But when you're late in the season and you're trying to make a playoff push, you have to be confident in all aspects of the game. They have a great special teams. They have a great defense. They have a great offense. But now you pull those wrinkles in and you get it on film that you can complete passes. That opens up a lot more going down for Drew Baker.
Unbelievable game here tonight. And again, we talked about the playoff implications. If the playoffs started this week, of course, Miamisburg would have been coming in at number 15. They would have been in the playoffs. Again, still a couple more weeks to go. I think they'll be fine. But what a great game tonight. Two teams are capable of playing in the postseason. And Fairmont, they improved to 5-2 on the season. And they got a big one with Wayne next Friday, who Wayne's taking care of business tonight against Northmont. And what I expected to be a closer game like what we saw tonight, that was not the case. Wayne has been all over Northmont, Keith.
Yes, I mean, Northmont, they have a good football team, but they're still young and making a lot of mistakes at inopportune times, and I'm sure that's what happened tonight. There's too many mistakes early, and next thing you know, you're 2 and 3, 4 scores down because that Wayne team can score from anywhere. They got a lot of speed and a lot of talent on that team.
Fairmont beat Springfield last week. They beat Miamisburg tonight, and now they'll have another big opportunity next week, as they'll be playing at Heidkamp Stadium against the Wayne Warriors, which will be our Week 8 ESPN Dayton High School football game of the week. Josh Copeland again coming in tonight. Keith Byers, myself, Justin Kinner. Final thoughts, Josh, we'll start with you. Just your quick recap of what we saw tonight. And again, we've had, what's funny with Keith and I doing games this year too, like we've had quite a few. We had a 10-9 game earlier in the year.
It was a really good game.
Wayne and Pick Central beat Pick Central 10-9. This is a 10-7. We've had a few low-scoring games, but these have honestly been my favorite games to call all season.
Yeah, they're exciting, and this is what high school football is all about. This is what Friday night's all about. Late in the season, you kind of want to make a playoff run. I was impressed with Fairmont and the way they came out, and they were just poised. They played their game. They threw some wrinkles in there so they can get some things cleaned up, but they played their game, and Miamisburg fought to the end. And who'd have thought? Keith called it. You play a running team and you lose in the last second by a pass.
That's unbelievable. That's why you come out here. High school football, you can't beat it. I love high school football. When I used to be a coach in Florida, I tell my kids all the time, I'm going to be that old dude one of these days, sitting at the top of the stands on a Friday night, watching football. They was like, you got a kid out there? No, I'm right here. I love the game. I love football. It's been very good to me. And, I love to share that opportunity, with people. Get out and support your local high school football team. Whether it's here at Fairmont, wherever near you, get out and support, because the louder you scream, the more you participate, the better the kids play on the field on Friday night, because it is a special, time of their lives. And, I'm glad I can, be here with you guys and enjoy the run, to see the smiles on their faces, when you win the game, and even the disappointment when you come up a little short. But one thing that's consistent is the love of the game and the love of football. So I'd love to see the fans out here tonight. Everybody's here just cheering for your favorite team. And, it's just a great, Friday night atmosphere here in Ohio.
All right, again, your final here tonight. The Fairmont Firebirds win it 10-7 over the Miamisburg Vikings. Fairmont will be back in action next Friday night. They'll be hitting the road as they'll take on the Wayne Warriors before they'll come back home in weeks 9 and 10 to close out the regular season against Centerville and Beaver Creek. As far as the Miamisburg Vikings are concerned, Miamisburg will have to put this tough loss behind them as they have Beaver Creek coming to town next week. Then they'll be at Springfield in week 9 and close out the regular season in week 10 against the Springboro Panthers. Miamisburg drops to 3-4 on the year. Fairmont 5-2, and both teams again trying to take that momentum into week 8. 10-7, your final here tonight. The Fairmont Firebirds over the Miamisburg Vikings. Tomorrow, Buckeye fans, Keith Byers and myself, Justin Kinner, will be live at Submarine House in Beaver Creek. We'll be going live from 2 to 3:30 throughout the pregame show, of course, on 92.9 Jack FM at 1410 ESPN Radio. So come on out. Submarine House is the spot to watch the Buckeyes all season long. 2:30?
It's 4 o'clock kickoff.
4 o'clock kickoff. Well, either way, 2:30 we'll be out there tomorrow. I thought it was 3:30, but either way, it don't matter. Just follow me on social media. We'll have the time up there. How about that? I'm butchering this. But nonetheless, appreciate everyone who tuned in tonight. We'll do it again next week, of course, with Fairmont at Wayne. Josh, thank you so much, of course, coming out of the bullpen again.
Thank you. It's great thank you for having me. It was a great time. Nothing better than that game right there.
Absolutely. Brandon Williams, who's back in the WING studios. Brandon, we now send it back to you. Brandon's going to give you, of course, the updated and potential final scores around the Miami Valley. Thank you for tuning in. This has been our Week 7 ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week on 1410 ESPN Radio.
It's time for frickin' football. Frickers has a way to make this the winning season. Try a frickin' chicken taco, grilled chicken taco, or Mississippi barbecue taco for a limited time. Enjoy a 48-ounce personal pitcher of domestic draft beer.
I like this kind of party. I like this kind of party, baby.
All the games of college and the NFL at the place that leads the way with inflation-busting prices, everyday values, and where kids eat free. The home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. Frickers.
Want to make tonight's dinner a true winner? Just stop by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken and pick up a 12-piece family meal at a great price. You'll get 12 pieces of our classic Famous Recipe Chicken that's honey-dipped, hand-breaded, and pressure-cooked just right, along with 3 of our large sides and 6 fluffy biscuits. This is temptation times 12. Get the family meal that's big on flavor and on value with the 12-piece family meal. Only at Lee's, famous for chicken.
Hey, Buckeye fans, as the official wing sponsor of your Ohio State Buckeyes, Roosters is giving away 12 trips for 2 to this year's Buckeye Bowl game. Each trip comes complete with airfare, hotel, gift bag, and 2 tickets to the big game. 1 bowl prize winner chosen each week, along with other cool Roosters weekly prizes. So register every week at roosterswings.com. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Official contest rules at roosterswings.com.
Welcome to Allstate, where saving on your auto insurance is kind of like a joyride. You, your car, and an open road. Maybe your best friend, too. The music is chill, and so is the traffic. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Call me, Dave Mowdy, at 325-2474. That's 325-2474. Right across the street from Frisch's on East Main Street in Springfield. Based on coverage selected, savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
It's time for frickin' football. Frickers has a way to make this the winning season. Try a frickin' chicken taco, grilled chicken taco, or Mississippi barbecue taco for a limited time. Enjoy a 48-ounce personal pitcher of domestic draft beer.
I like this kind of party. I like this kind of party, baby.
All the games of college and the NFL at the place that leads the way with inflation-busting prices, everyday values, and where kids eat free. The home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. Frickers.
Game of the week. Fairmont was able to come out on top with the last second touchdown to win 10-7 on the road, at home versus Miamisburg. I'm going to update you guys on some other scores in the area still going on. Sydney leads big 42-14 over West Carrollton. That game is still in the third quarter. Springfield leads 34-7 over Springboro. That game in the third as well. Alter trails the Baton Rams 35-14 in the fourth. West Claremont and Lebanon are stuck in a close one, 28-28 in the fourth quarter. Xenia leads 28-20 over Butler. Tippecanoe leads Troy 21-7. That game in the fourth quarter. Jonathan Alders up big over Kenton Ridge 49-16. Indian Lake trails big to Urbana. Urbana's up 34-0 in that contest. And that's a quick update of some of the scores here in the Miami Valley. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the high school football game of the week. We'll be back next week. And we also have Buckeye football tomorrow at 3:30. We start our pregame show at 2 o'clock. So make sure you guys keep it locked in here at Wing 1410 a.m. For Brandon Williams here for the ESPN 1410 team. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
We are racing. It's the Montgomery County Fair Races at Hollywood Dayton Raceway. Catch the excitement of harness racing Sunday morning at Dayton Hollywood Raceway. Post time 11 a.m. Horses, racing, and winners. Be there.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
You need employees.
Tell me about it.
Actually, tell us about it.
Why?
Because when you tell us about your job openings, we can tell over 300,000 other people.
You can?
Yeah, whether you're looking for a job or a better job, Alpha Media Recruitment can help fill any position with qualified job seekers with a custom plan that combines our broadcast and digital platforms.
You can do that?
It's what we do. Alpha Media Dayton, on air, on site, on demand. Call 937-519-0111. That's 937-519-0111. Or email DaytonJobs@alphamediausa.com. That's DaytonJobs@alphamediausa.com.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
Something you probably do know. Progressive can not only offer you a great price when you bundle home and auto, they offer you round-the-clock protection. Something you probably don't know? A driveway basketball hoop, including the base, weighs around 400 pounds. Something you probably do know? There's a windstorm coming. Something you probably don't know. A basketball hoop tipping over can poke a hole in a car roof like a can opener. Bundle your home and auto with Progressive and get more than a great price. Get round-the-clock protection. Something you know for the things you don't know. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Get what you want and pay over time when you use your Lowe's Advantage Card. Now through October 26, 2022. Ask for 0% APR with 36 fixed monthly payments on a product installation or appliance purchase of $1,000 or more. Shop for the appliances you want in-store or online. Or go to the store nearest you for installation. Now at Lowe's. Offer subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store or Lowe's.com for details. U.S. only.
When your roommate borrows your car every day, it might be a blind spot. Even having people over to jump around on your trampoline. Yep, it also might be a blind spot. Blind spots are all the surprising things that might need more coverage that you weren't aware of. Good thing Allstate agents can help you find those blind spots while watching out for your wallet.
Call me, Dave Mowdy, at 325-2474. That's 325-2474. Right across the street from Frisch's on East Main Street in Springfield. Based on coverage selected